favourite game. I've been playing it for years.
You're a proper gamer, Shortee, yeah?
Not proper gamer, but I'm alright. I can survive.
Like,
you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm shit now because my son is showing man up in front of other people, and I'm like, nah.
Bro, do you know what it is with these kids, bro? They moved. I remember playing online on COD about 2 years ago, and I'd not played it for time, and I was getting sprayed in seconds, man. I'm thinking these kids. I'm not even getting sneak out from behind the wall, and head topped. I can't keep up.
They're on an on-site thing, man. As soon as you respawn, they're on you. They're bang on, man. I'm not on it. I'm not on it, man. So I'm like, that game's yours now.
You've been spending time in the gulag in lockdown, isn't it?
Trash. Gulag is my brethren right now, and I hate the gulag. Rude boy. It's mad.
I'll hold my hands up, yeah. I actually bought a PlayStation last week, yeah, man. I just got so bored, brother, and I was like, do you know what? Take a break. Just allow the work for a minute. Just live a normal life. Get a PlayStation. Get some fizzy drinks in the fridge. Couple packs of biscuits and that. And for like 5 days, I was a ghost, bro. For like 5 days, I'm not gonna lie.
You can tell that I've been living that life since lockdown as well.
Well, he's got the red cup in his hand and that.
It's water.
No one drinks the red cup, Shortee, but it's cool.
I know. I'm trying to style on, man, innit? It's mad.
Bro, listen, the only cups we have in the studio are red cups, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Mate, no one washes up but me, so that's all you got left. I got to wash up later. It's mad. But how you guys doing, man? I ain't seen you in ages.
God, I don't think I haven't really actually seen anyone face to face for a minute. But you know what it's like, lockdown life, man. Like exactly like you said. I think the first probably 6 weeks of lockdown. You know what? I really enjoyed not working. If I'm honest, you know what it's like in this work that we do is so full on. We're either in the clubs till all hours, or especially like Shortee with you doing radio and stuff, you've got to be on the music, or you're sorting out features and content, and it's just 24/7. Literally is a 24/7 cycle.
The wheels don't stop.
No, don't stop at all.
And lockdown it almost forced me to stop because the club shut.
Yeah.
London shut down, so I wasn't going into the studio to do interviews, and it was like, okay, you actually have to sit down for a bit. So I was like, first 6 weeks, bro, I just got fat and played video games, basically.
Yeah. Guy said he got fat, you know.
That's what I did.
And there's not an ounce of fat on him, innit? Yeah, geez.
Yeah, well, no, there is downwards.
So I was just going to say, bro, as you get older, I feel like I managed to keep in shape everywhere except around the waist. Bro, I went to play football last night, and my boy puts a little clip on Instagram, and like the reality hit. I was like, I am not looking like a nimble footballer out on that pitch. I was feeling, bro, I woke up feeling guilty today, man. Get me in the gym.
When I started playing football again last year until I messed up my ankle, it wasn't since I went to school. I'm not going to tell you how many years that was, but I was playing with Trini Mark and all that in Brixton every Monday. And the first time I played, I thought I was going to die.
Oh my!
You know, running up and down the AstroTurf pitch, bruv. I didn't think I was going to make it home. Shock to the system, bruv. Shock to the system. I was like, ooh, let's bear that.
Even the five-a-side is intense, man. People don't understand that. I can go to the gym and I'll jog on the spot for like half an hour. I'm cool. The minute I'm on a pitch, you got to do the quick sprints and you got to be sharp and the movements.
Back and forth.
Bro, next, I need that second. You need the second wind, man. Yeah, you know the ones.
I felt every minute of my age. Trust me.
Yeah, neck. I've been all right though, bro. You know, over here. To be fair, same as double, man. Just enjoyed the time off. Started getting a bit fidgety the last couple of weeks. Played my first gig like 2 weeks ago, which was an experience, man. Felt like I was starting all over again.
Well, but, did it feel funny? Did you feel like, I'm gonna play next?
Bro, do you know what? Yeah, just like it was like a bit of preset jitters, like not even nerves, but just overthinking the situation in it, because obviously people are separated in the crowd now. It's outdoors. It's not like the usual environment. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a bit nervous. I think just because of the whole situation. Not touch decks for what I was obviously doing streaming at home and that, but. Yeah, nothing compares to actually playing out to the crowd, innit? So
yeah, of course.
After a couple of records and a little drink in my system, I was fine, man.
Little courage juice and that.
Definitely, bro. That courage juice, bro. I used to do that stuff all the time when I was younger. As I've got older, now I'm a glass of water or coffee or something, and I'm cool. But back in the day, I just to loosen up before a set, A little shot or a strong one. Yeah, you know the ones, man.
Them ones, man.
No, have you done any sets since the start of lockdown?
No. I've done like at the start of lockdown. I did something online. I did it on what was it, on Periscope, and
okay.
Oh snap!
And then I did a couple Zooms. That's about it. I wasn't really running to do it quickly. I was enjoying lockdown as well. I was enjoying actually sleeping. I was getting some wicked sleep at the start, but then how much can you sleep?
Real
Now,
talk.
you know what I mean? It's mad months, and we're in our 6 months for lockdown, right?
Bro, listen, I was thinking the other day, we're in August, bro.
August
like,
is not rough.
I feel like I feel like Christmas was yesterday, and now it's
soon
heading into the back end of the year, bro. Like, and nothing has happened. Obviously, a lot has happened, but like it's like everything's kind of got halted, isn't it?
It's mad. I don't know because I got a booking for Malta to play.
Okay.
And I turned it down. I was like, no, I don't think it's time yet. I don't think it's ready.
I hear that. Is that recently as well? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was about maybe a month ago. I think the thing's happening anytime now. It might have happened already. I don't know.
Okay.
I just wasn't ready. With obviously my missus, my wife. She was born prematurely, so she has lung problems.
Okay.
So obviously, I don't want to bring anything.
Got to be super careful.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm the only one that leaves the house.
Mad.
At the moment, it's mad.
Okay.
I go do the food shop at the weekend.
It's the designated food survivor there.
No,
come on, fam.
Listen, man. Listen. I turned that little 45 minutes into an hour and a half.
Yeah. Damn right. Stretch
Me
your legs.
time. Me time.
I hear it.
Put on a podcast, walk around slow, and then walk around again.
See, this is the thing, when you live at home, like I'm with the missus. We don't have kids yet, but she got called away to Germany with work last week, and we'd obviously been. We're under each other's noses, but we're normally opposite schedules because I'll DJ in the evening, she'll work in the day. So then we've spent the last 4 or 5 months on top of each other. Like, we're in a 1-bed apartment, so there's not loads of space. She's like, I'm going to Germany for a week. I'm like, go. leave me be. She's like, she's like, you're absolutely buzzing that I'm going away. I'm like, yeah.
And she was as well, even though she won't admit it. She was ready.
Do you know what I'm saying?
She didn't go Germany. She booked an Airbnb in another part of Manchester.
Oh my days!
How
are you gonna violate me like that, man? This guy.
You know what? She didn't want to smell your feet no more.
Oh my days!
You know what I found a bit mad with this whole situation? I don't know if you guys have felt this, but there's been a complete role reversal in the house.
Yeah.
Because Leanne has a full-time job, so now with my work shutting down. And obviously Roman, my son, being out of school, I'm the stay-at-home.
You're home help. Yeah.
And that's it. I'm the one staying at home. Leanne's now the one earning. She's the breadwinner in the house right now. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's proper mad. Like,
Leanne's got the power now, bro. You're getting bullied at home, innit?
Can't tell her nothing.
If he tries anything like, listen.
It's crazy.
She's like,
it has been like.
Double, you need to talk to me properly.
I had to anyway, but now it's just reinforced. It's crazy, man. It is like a proper flipped over situation where it's like, it's just.
I'm definitely contributing more towards the housework.
Yeah.
Like, just basic stuff like cleaning the pots and that. Like, before, I'm one of them that I'll eat and I'll just chuck that shit on the side, man. Like, because we weren't late. People think us DJs have it easy. They don't even know.
Yeah, not at all, man.
We had this convo with Scotty last week, man. Like, there's like, what goes in behind the scenes, the traveling, the manoeuvring. Like, some days I'd rather have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't all sweet as people think it is. There's bare problems behind the scenes, man. Trust me.
Especially now, like you say, 6 months in, like obviously certain little bits are moving again, but it's not looking positive. And it's like you said, maybe some people are jumping in prematurely and trying to put festivals back on and throwing events and. Whether it's the right time or not remains to be seen.
Because you know what it is, like a good friend of my missus, like her husband is a doctor, and they came to visit us on the driveway just to say hello.
Okay.
And they were like, look, it's not safe to be out there, but they need to restart the economy basically. So it's not a safety thing; it's a money thing.
Yeah,
whoever's gonna get sick is gonna get sick. So that's why I'm staying in my yard. Even though I needed the pee for Malta and go back to do history and IB for all that. I'm staying put because I'd rather be here and struggle than them have to bury me and then
health and safety first over a bit of cash in it, man. I hear that.
Trust me, man.
I hear that.
I've got 2 kids I got to raise and you know what I mean.
Real talk.
Family first.
You know what it is? A lot of this situations put a lot of stuff in perspective for me. Like I've properly found, like, especially with the time that I was able to take off and just relax my brain. As soon as I started getting my head back into, okay, well, what do I need to start doing? I started realizing, like, there's so much stuff I don't need to do. There's so much stuff I don't have. Like, it's not compulsory. So now I'm just picking up bits that I want to do. Again, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I got myself to a point where I'm like, I had so many different plates spinning just to be busy, just to have plates spinning. And now I'm like, okay, well, I don't actually need to do that. I don't need to do that either. These are the things I want to do. So it's been nice. And even, I'm not just talking about work either. It's been really nice being able to align my priorities in terms of spending time with the little one. Do you know what I mean? Actually, like doing up family time without having to worry about, if I spend too much time with the family, the work's going to suffer and vice versa. There's
now we've got no choice. And it's good. I'm finding out that I'm more of a homebody than I really realised I was. Because for the past 20 odd years, I've just been out. I've just been out.
I hear that.
Whether it's travelling or I'm just on a local thing, I'm just out. And I'm getting to enjoy just being in the yard. Maybe I'm just old now. I don't know. I'm enjoying being inside my yard. I mean, you know, there's been an odd flare up over the last 6 months, but it ain't been nothing like, you know, I hate you lot, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. I think, bro, do you know what? Yeah, this time for me, it's definitely had me questioning a few bits and bobs. Like you say, it's been up and down, but like, bro, like, I've just enjoyed the time off, same way as you, man. I don't have children in it, so I've still semi-had the freedom. But
to go and do everything.
Yeah, that's it. I've not missed the work too tough. Like, I don't know whether same as Shortee just said. I don't know if it's an age thing, but I've enjoyed just being able to switch off and not fully overthink stuff. Like for the first couple of weeks, I was like, right, this could get a peak. Like, what's gonna happen? Everyone's kind of scrapping around a little bit, and then I just managed to pull it back. And like Double said, just refining the priorities and putting stuff in the right places and that. Do you know what I mean?
I think for me, you know, the thing that really helped me through everything is just knowing yourself and knowing who you are, and knowing what makes you happy. I mean, I think that can apply to everything. Do you know what I mean? Not on some deep philosophy thing. Just know who you are. Know what I'm not really into chasing all of that. So let me just do what I do. No matter what anybody else is doing, I just do me, because obviously it's gonna feel fake to me, and then anybody looking is gonna know that it feels fake to me because I'm not gonna be able to hide it. You feel me? So just be yourself. I'm really a homebody right now. I'm loving it.
Shortee, it sounds like Shortee's ready for retirement, bro. Don't do it. Guys, pull it at one in the yard, you know. Kids in the other room, PlayStation on, outstretching his legs with the podcast.
It's true,
have
man.
Have you been doing any radio broadcasts?
I still do a radio show every week. I've got 2 shows. I'm on tonight at 9 o'clock on Kiss Fresh, and then tomorrow at 7 till 9 with MK for the hip hop show as well. So yeah, we still do the radio every week, but we just send it from here. It's mad.
Yeah, that's mad. So you're recording from the yard now,
Yeah,
sick,
man.
Yeah, that's a madness still.
A lot of people doing that. I know a lot of the One Extra guys are doing that as well.
Yeah, because the lockdown was serious. Like they didn't want to even take any chances.
Okay.
And all that. So I was like, fine. I've got a mic here. I've got my my Serato set up, and I've got my Focus right. And I'm recording on another mic as well.
Okay.
So sick. That after we're done.
I was gonna say it was a lot smoother than Scotty's was last week.
Oh, was it? I haven't seen it yet. See, that's the reason why I didn't watch anything, because I didn't want it to colour what I say when I'm talking to you.
To be fair with us, bro, we don't plan them too much, innit? Like it's just DJs chopping it up, man. Yeah, we used to write certain bits down, and because we're nearly on 100 episodes now, or not far.
Wow!
Like as we've gone on, yeah, we just keep it super chilled now, man. We feel like they're the best ones.
And that's the best way to interview people anyway, because over the years I used to like obsess about, let me ask this guy this
questions and that. Real talk.
Talk to them, innit? Talk to them like they're human beings and that. And and they'll be fine. Because
you guys know, innit? You interview a lot of artists. Like when you see them regimed interviews where they ask the same questions, like you can see the artists like want to pull their hair out in it.
Yeah, it's
like and the ones where it's just a casual conversation and shit just flows. They always appreciate them a lot more from what I've seen.
Definitely, because we interviewed Schoolboy Q last year, and he was. I just asked him about his kids and asked him about the school, just regular stuff that he would have to deal with.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be okay, cool. So we could actually talk on a level about certain things. We'll talk about the music. We'll touch on the music, but then let's talk about him as a person, because I think that's important as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. Not everyday music, like you say, they live and breathe that shit. 100 hours of the day, man. But throwing a little something different in there, even just asking how they are in general, family life and that.
Exactly.
You know what I found about interviews though is in the past, like pre-social media.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing interviews before social media, but from what I've looked at from old ones, it was kind of a necessity. Like if they're coming to the radio station or doing TV or whatever, you have to talk about the music. That's why they're doing it. It's part of the thing. Whereas now, with social media being so open, they let all the Q&As with fans and putting everything up on their socials. They kind of answer all the music questions themselves by doing that. So with the interviews, I've found the best ones is exactly what you said, Shorty. Just finding a different line, find some common ground, and just talk it out. Yeah. But, I mean, with my interviews, I go in with research. So I will watch as many.
Yeah, double turns up with an encyclopedia, man. This guy goes in, I turn up with 4 bullet points.
I'll watch through all of their interviews to see how they react to certain questions. What's the most common question they get asked? Because then I'm not going to ask that. And I'll deliberately find other directions to do it. But I also find sometimes you don't even need to mention the music. Yeah. Because the way everything's set up now, they do all that on their socials, and this conversation now just becomes about everything else that they haven't put out there. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's great. You say common ground, man.
And as well, you can, even if it's somebody who hasn't heard of that artist at the time, if you're talking to them about something and it's an interesting conversation, they're going to be like, okay, let me go check out his socials, and then they will have all the details of the music on there, right? Yeah. So no, you're right, for real. But I just hate boring convos and talking. So who was in the studio with you? And you're like, nah.
That's a double question.
No. But you know what I do find about those questions actually? I find sometimes the generic questions, as generic and boring as they are, can actually be a necessity to get certain stories. But
it's a stepping stone, isn't it?
It's how you word it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So like, instead of saying like something like, so who was in the studio with you? I would just say like, tell me about making track number 9, and let them open up, and they then give it.
That's better.
So, like Redman was in the studio and he was just high in the corner and such, and Premier walked in and do you know what I mean? And then they just tell as much of the story as you want. Sometimes they get carried away with themselves and you get gems that no one's ever heard about before.
True stories. Oh, you guys are giving away all the interview techniques right now. We'll sell this one as a masterclass. What's the most awkward interview that you guys have had, man? You know, the ones where you get an artist in the studio and you just not getting anything from them, and it just makes it like you're trying your best, but the conversation's just a bit weird. Like, is there any that stick out? I've seen that. Shorty's
I got one. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but when we interviewed LL Cool J. This is when I did the radio show with Big Ted, still on Kiss.
Okay.
So this is Love You Better times. Right? So he came on LL Cool J. He came on the radio show. It was cool. Like my missus has been a fan of his since she was.
She must have been gassed.
Yeah, she made him tea and all of that, and she was like, "Oh my God, I made him tea." She's gonna hate me for saying that, but it's what happened with it. But with him, I was, I think I was nervous because it was LL Cool J.
Legend.
I've been buying his records since '86. You know what I mean? So as I was asking him a question, there was a voice in my head that said, "Bruv, you're talking to LL Cool J, you know." and I stopped mid-sentence.
Oh my!
I didn't know what I was saying anymore. I was like,
them overwhelming ones.
And he was just looking at me like, "Your money, you alright?" But it was from then that I stopped doing those kind of kind of interview questions because
it
was awkward and I hated it.
Just fully threw you off.
Yeah, because obviously I never really get gassed with artists. Mm-hmm. I try not to meet as many artists as well because I've had bad situations with artists back in the day and all that. From that point, I was like, nah, I'm not putting you up on no pedestal. I'm a fan of your music. I don't even need to meet you. It's all good. So, so from there, I just kind of changed the way I thought about interviewing artists and talking to people because obviously they're real people and they just want to be handled as real people. Well, some of them do. Some of them want to be treated like they want white M&Ms or they're not coming in.
Oh my days! Oh my days! Yeah, I've seen some dodgy riders over the years, but
trust me.
In my experience, Shortee, you might be able to co-sign this as well. In my experience, the veteran ones, the ones who have really been through the mill and done so many interviews, they seem to be the most chill. Yeah, like I had a situation actually like quite early in my interviewing career with Naughty by Nature, and I was literally just chilling with my friends. Yeah. And these are guys I met them 5 minutes prior to everything being switched on, and we like literally 5 minutes. How you doing? I'm double. And I at the time couldn't even remember which one was which. Right. I think it was the first time I was interviewing more than one person, one-on-one as well. So I was like, right, I've got to keep control of this. I've got to make sure I'm juggling it fairly and not mess up. And there's so much stuff in my head. But they were so relaxed and just cool with it.
But I think that's credit to you as well, man, because your energy is good, isn't it? Your energy is friendly. Obviously, you know about music. Even if people don't know you, they'll know that you know what you're talking about from maybe the first 3 questions. That's true. You come across friendly as well, and you know what I mean. You're not threatening. You don't act like a dickhead like some people, like some DJs in the scene. And you know what I mean?
Say names. No.
But you know what it is, right?
The guy always does this double, you know. If you say he starts pulling.
He's like, let him know.
He loves it.
Like, I think
it's a shit stirrer.
Knowing you two guys for as long as I've known you, right? The thing is, I think you're in the same boat as me. Like, I love the job that I do, right? I'm privileged to work in a job that I actually love. Because you know how many people go to work and they hate their job and they hate their boss. They want to kill everybody in the room if they could. Yeah. But I don't understand the people that turn up with mad attitudes and just be dicks to people. Like, we ain't doctors, we ain't saving no lives in that sense. We're playing music and obviously we're helping lift moods and let them remember moments, right? So why be a dick?
Yeah, I don't get that.
It doesn't serve anything.
I think some people just let the gas go to their head a little bit sometimes, man, instead of just remaining humble and keeping your feet on the ground. Like, again, I hear it, man. I hear you, bro.
It goes back to my point. Know yourself.
Know yourself out here,
bro. Know yourself. Yeah. Real talk. Know yourself.
Trying to think if I had any awkward ones I can share with you of interviews. I'm trying to think. I stopped interviewing artists time ago, to be fair. Why? I had a dry time stint in Manny for like 4 years, and then during that time, all the guests used to come through that show. When I kind of left that show and I went specialist, I didn't get sent as many guests. Right, you know what I mean? I could obviously go and source them myself and whatever, but when I was doing drive, everything would come through there. Right. I'm trying to think of the most awkward. I didn't have too many awkward ones, you know. It's kind of like what Shortee said. I never let the artist like fully gas me, and I think because I've been chasing and maneuvering in the industry for so long, when it finally happened, I kind of felt like I should. Like, I should be here talking to these people. Like I've been doing the radio for time, so I didn't let it fully gas me. I think there might have been one actually, and it was at the MEN. I think Kerry Hilson and Neo were doing a show. Yeah. And we were there to interview Kerry Hilson. And it was backstage, and sometimes these backstage ones could be mad awkward because you don't know what you're going into, you don't know what kind of environment you're heading into. Bro, listen, it was so awkward. So we got there and they're like, right, we waited for about an hour for it to turn up anyway, so we're waiting there. She comes, right, in this room, guys, shoved into a little tiny like white room, just all white walls, like, and she's just 2 chairs in the middle. Wow. So I'm thinking, this looks awkward already, but I feel like I'm heading into an asylum. Anyway, I sit there. Kerry Hilson comes in with 2 of the burliest security guys ever, right? And they just like stood next to her, and I just stood there, and she just sat there, and we just had to have like this one-on-one in this room with these 2 henchish security guys just staring at me like they wanted to kill me, bro. And like you know when they're looking at you, the interview's like 5-10 minutes in, and they're looking at me like they want me to wrap it up already. It just fully threw me off, man. Like, this is just a horrible situation. I've turned up on my own as well. I'm there with my little radio press pass. Like, yeah, awkward, bro. Yeah, that was not.
Again, that's the energy, and so that will determine whether the interview is going to be good or not.
Yeah,
it's the energy that they're setting. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that one didn't go. I don't even think I used that one still.
Oh, really? See, exactly that.
I don't even think we used it, mate.
Yeah, rather not air it. Because, as well, again, the reason why I said about these artists, I'm not going to gas and run after these artists like that anymore, was because this is back in the day, and it was a realization. So Run DMC, I'm a slightly older cat than you guys.
Mad.
Yeah, I mean, so, what I think one of the first records I bought with paper round money was a Run DMC album. So saved up for 2 weeks because they used to bump man back in the day because I'm from Nottingham. I don't know if you know that, but I'm from Notts, originally born and raised. So I got paid £5 a week for doing a week-long paper round. They were bumping.
Listen, I know about the paper round struggle.
They were bumping, man, for real. So it took me 2 weeks to pay to buy an album. So all of that, and then I get to go on tour with Ty, rest in peace. And we go to Amsterdam. We go to Amsterdam, right? And we opened up for Run DMC on, I think maybe it was their last album. But so we warm up the crowd nicely. We did our thing. The crowd didn't know us at the start, but the good thing about Ty is that he will turn a crowd around. By the time we're done,
that's a skill in itself, man.
They're rocking with us. Yeah, he's got that personality, you know what I mean? And so I see DMC and Jay and Run at the side of the stage when we're done. So I packed up my records.
Them times.
So I put it away, and then I walked to backstage, and I see Run standing there, and they were talking, and then they walked. So Jam Master Jay, rest in peace, he walked off, went in first. DMC walked off as well, and then Run was taking his time. So I went up to him. I was like, "Excuse me, I just want to let you know that big fan of your music and much love." That was it. So he walked, as we were walking to the backstage, he slammed the door in my face.
Oh my. Oh my.
So, wait, let me say it slower. He slammed the door in my fucking face. Yeah. And from that time, that was, I think it was like 98, 97, 98. From that time, I was like, you rappers. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to do an interview, it's cool if it's on a level, but I'm not going to be kissing nobody's feet to do this thing.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah,
I hear that.
It's crazy, isn't it? The energy, like, I've always found from all the artists that I've met and the artists that I've worked with, I've always found the ones that are the most welcoming and just cool, even just cool to sit down and chat afterwards, or like they're not in a rush and there's no attitude whatsoever.
Yeah.
They're the artists that even afterwards, even with like maybe mediocre music, I will ride harder for them than my idols that, or, you know, there's certain artists that I have met along the way, not interviewed, but I've just met and just thought, actually, like, in real life, you're a bit of an arsehole.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I felt that a few times.
And artists that before I met them, I love their music. And you know, when you get like in the past, you'll see like, you might get a vinyl and it's featuring that artist, or you might get an email now featuring that artist. And you get excited to know they're on the record. I'm not so excited anymore. But other people, when you've met them and they're just proper cool, like, you want to ride harder for them and help.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to help them as much as possible, right? And I think that's the same with anybody you meet on a regular basis. And it's like, just, you know, like, they were the idols to me as I was a kid. Like, they did a lot for the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
As far as visibility, they did a hell of a lot. And the dude was irreverent at the time still. And he was still that rude, like Sam Doran man's face.
Yeah, that's mad.
Why am I a dickhead? Like,
it's a story to tell, though, bro.
Yes,
it's not a bad one.
It's not a proudest moment, but I mean, I'm not the one who should be feeling embarrassed. So, you know,
true stories.
I wasn't on no groupie thing. I was just like, no, I just want to let you know that blah 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 blah. Bang!
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, that's.
Ty was standing behind me watching this, cracking up.
Oh.
I was like, bro.
I feel like the newer artists, I feel like they're the harder ones to interview, because I don't know whether it's a like trying to get them on a personable level, or they're just not media trained, or they're not used to sitting in these rooms and having these conversations. Going back to Double, referring to the older artists that have been around and done it all and are more legends, are probably easier to talk to than say someone who dropped a hit last week and he's through into the limelight. He's got a #1. Next thing he's doing the full radio tour. He's interviewing at all the stations. It can be a little bit awkward for them. Do you reckon that's
as well?
Because it's a little bit easier now to, if it's so accessible, and like you say, you hit a #1 out of nowhere and you're out here, innit? Like you can't hide.
I think, with a lot of the younger artists, depending on how old they are, some of them might not even know themselves yet. Do you know what I mean? So they're getting all this like focus on them, and they're getting all these bags too. Yeah. So they're, I get it. You're gonna get gassed at a certain point, but this goes to the whole thing of there's no media training, there's no artist development anymore. Okay, you got something to start, let's sign it, throw some money at you. You're still gonna come off the shitty end with a stick. Yeah, but for now you got some money that you can show to your mum and your family and your friends then. So it's the industry's fucked.
Yeah, to be honest. It's completely the transition over the years. So even like you've been about since before us, Shorty, so you must see the comparison of where the industry was then to where it's at now must be just mental, like so far apart.
Mate, I mean, there's a lot of bullshitters all over, but there was a lot back in the day. But it's a lot easier for people to get on, and there's more money going around. Mm-hmm. But it's due to the fact that the people that went before them, they helped pave the way, whether people really acknowledge it or not. You know what I mean? We're standing on shoulders of people that didn't have it that easy. They didn't make that much money.
Yeah, true story.
You know what I mean? It's a sad fact, but this is the industry. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And it's unfair. I think it might be even more unfair than ever now, because don't the record companies own most of the streaming sites now? Or are they not in bed with most of the streaming sites?
I think they are.
I don't think they own it, but I think you're right. I think there's all sorts of deals and stuff going on. And not only that, like artists, because the impression is that there's less money going about in the music industry. I think artists are signing for less now. They're accepting shitty deals. Yes. And even just down to a point like there's so many. There's instances even like Megan Thee Stallion, for example. Did you see the details of her?
I didn't see the details.
Her first deal. I think she had to give away like 85% of her publishing or something ridiculous. Man. I can't remember the details, but it was just at the time. If you're a struggling artist from the hood and you've got no money,
I was going to say
getting told, look, I'll give you 50 grand. And when we sign your stuff, you can have 15% of all the money that comes in.
It's better than nothing to them, right?
That's what I'm saying. In that current situation, like, are you going to know any better? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, but that's where it's just so important for there to be. I don't know too much about how easy it is to get to like music lawyers either, but I mean, I feel like it needs to be an easier journey for artists to find these independent music lawyers who can look at it and be like, no, you should be getting at least 50% of your publishing. Like,
yeah, because you look at Meg Thee Stallion now. That's a perfect example. Like, look at the numbers she's pushing, bro. But like you say, in her situation when that deal's landed, so obviously don't know any better. Well, there's no guidance, no artist management to tell her like this bag, move here, there, and she took it and had her pants pulled down.
Even instances, there's a major. I'm not going to say the names because I want to avoid any legal problems. there's a major artist who was signed until recently to a major label, and when he signed, the major label made him sign away all of his publishing for life. For life. So usually when an artist finishes a publishing deal, there's like a couple of years of like a buffer where the publishing for a couple of years after the deal goes to the label. Then after that, it's all the artists. But he's signed for life. He won't get his publishing for anything that he did under that label.
Big artist as well, yeah?
Big artist.
Like, is it?
From here?
After we've finished recording, no, he's not from here. But
say it. Just say it, man. This guy is always trying to pull people out. Say it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, bro.
I can't say it.
I'll clip this bit. I'll clip this bit as a soundbite. This can be one of our promos for Insta this week. I'm gonna sell you off like a Sun headline, bro.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's such a shady industry sometimes. Like,
and it's not going to change, it seems.
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of artists are now, because there's so much access to the information now, you can learn about this stuff. You can learn about what publishing is just by going on Wikipedia. Whereas maybe 20 years ago, you couldn't. Someone would just say, oh, publishing is just some money that you get given when someone else does something with your songs. So it's free money. There you go. And okay, 15% of free money. Yeah, I'll take it. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, but now, okay, well, let me see if that's actually a good deal. And people can, the ones that aren't lazy can look it up straight away and see whether or not they get a good deal.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think that kind of behaviour from the labels will stop. They'll always that's
what they do.
That's what they do. So it's on the artists and to like get brain savvy and know really what's going on out here, innit, I guess.
I think, it's important to definitely get a different music like that.
What are you saying, Dubs?
Yeah, definitely. But that, sorry, it's my internet jumping out again. But that's where it comes down to the fact that people must remember it's the music business. It's not the music friendship. Do you know what I mean? This is a business. Major labels don't care if you're making good music or not. They really don't care. They care if you're making music that's
sellable.
Like, definitely. It's streaming. Don't care if it's good. Does it stream? That's what matters to them.
Well, did I see someone talking about Drake this morning about he's gone solo or he's out of his Young Money deal or something? I didn't even realise that was still a thing.
He sold what? What did he say?
Is he out of his deal now? Because I woke up and see some tweets about Drake today.
Oh wow! Really? Okay.
Because he dropped a new single this morning.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And then underneath it, it's got OVO 2020, like all the credits and the details.
There was talk not that long ago that he was turning into an independent artist. Because I remember there was a lot of people on YouTube that.
So he was still with Young Money, innit? He was still with Young Money as of.
He was until recently, but I've never really looked into what his deal is or was or anything like that. I just know he was signed to Young Money. But there was talk, a lot of videos and stuff on YouTube about how if Drake was to go independent, the music industry literally
shut down,
could change. It could change overnight because he then shows people how you don't need a major label to do all of this stuff. I think he's a super extreme example because Drake.
Super extreme.
Drake is a unicorn. He's a unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's an anomaly, man. Because Drake tomorrow could put out a brand of like Speedos.
Anything.
OVO Speedos.
The guy said Speedos,
$10 million.
Some Y fronts.
You know what? I'm trying to think of the least hip hop. I'm trying to think of the least hip hop example, yeah. And I thought, I can't picture. I don't want to, but I can't picture anyone from hip hop in Speedos. But Drake could do Speedos, yeah, and make $10 million overnight and sell them out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's a proper, like a proper anomaly. But I think, if people start matching, if he does things independently and people start copying his blueprint, like it could.
It's big.
I feel like Drake's at the point now where he's just bored, and he's just like, I'll make a drill track. Oh, I'll go make a Spanish record over there. I feel like he just can't do no wrong, innit? So now he's just like, let me just tap in over there, tap in over there.
He's not even 30 yet, is he? He's not even 30 yet, right?
I think
he's not. He's got to be fit.
Yeah, he's got all this money.
29, I think.
No, don't lie.
He wants to. He's got a wicked yard. Yeah, he's gonna get bored.
How old is Drake?
Probably done everything he's ever wanted to do already. So he's probably fully.
Nah, bored. Drake is 33, man. See, he's 33, guys.
Oh, I can't even hear you.
Oh, I thought it was like 29. But
you still there? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there, G. You're there.
I can't hear you.
Hello?
What did you press?
I've not pressed nothing. Can you hear me, Double?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear Shortee as well.
Have
I cut Shortee off?
I'm still recording on my Logic.
Yeah, I can hear you both, man.
I can't hear you at all.
Real talk.
Has anybody muted anything?
Let me have a look.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, cool. I can't hear you though.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, that Shortee, yeah?
Can you hear us?
No?
That's weird.
Have I just disappeared?
Yeah, I'm wondering, because he's got those Beats headphones.
Yeah, no.
Why is it?
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Can you hear us, yeah?
That's weird. Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what happened there.
Is that headphone a bit loose in the socket on the side of the headphones? Does that one clip the clip in and out on the beats, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Old headphones. Sorry about that.
Sorry. No, it's all good. It's all good. I was going to say Drake's 33 anyway. For anyone that actually cares. You know what I mean?
But I don't know. Shortee, you said he might be bored of everything by now. I feel like
I think so.
No, because I feel like Drake's been in work mode, bro, for the last decade. I think he's been album mode and then touring and then album mode. And this is
true.
I feel like there's probably parts of the world he hasn't visited yet.
Yeah, but you say that's working, bro.
Nah, I don't think so.
This guy says working.
Remember, because from even you know what it's like. We can record on the road in whatever hotel room we go to. We can set this up and do our thing. You see Lil Wayne in action in his documentary. He'll go to a hotel room and set up mics and then knock out 10 tunes. So he'll probably be in Jamaica or Trinidad or something like that and just work for 2 days and then 100%. The rest of the week he's slamming chicks and dashing and
that's what I'm saying, man. When you're in that position and you can do what you want, like him just shipping a whole studio or his gear abroad.
Yeah, it's nothing.
The guy's got a plane, bro.
It's nothing.
Guy's got OVO Airlines. Fill up the jet. Let's go. Bring the gear. Listen.
Yeah, man. And he don't have to live nothing. He's got people that do that for him.
Do you know what I mean? Rob, listen. He's got this. Double said he's been working album mode. Rob, that's not working, bro. He's having a hell of fun.
And as well, wait, hold on, as well. Like all the situations with the girls he raps about, he has to go and do that research.
Do you know what I mean? On the ground for real, getting that real, info.
Down, brother. He's at it.
Out in the fields, yes.
Guys out here doing the market research, man.
I know about Drake. The things I've learned about Drake, I feel like he's a proper philanthropist type person. Yeah. So I feel like when his music career is done and he's got like 200 million in the bank or whatever his net worth is, I feel like he's the type of person that we're going to see start up like music initiatives or sports.
I semi-agree, man.
I think he's probably going to be he's probably going to go down the Jay-Z route where he ends up managing like some sort of management company or like all of this sort of stuff. But I really feel he's going to do like what like Akon did. Akon invested loads of money in powering loads of villages in Africa.
Akon's done a madness.
Supplying electricity and schools and stuff and water, running water to all these remote places in Africa and Senegal.
That's dope, man.
I feel like that's what Drake's gonna do. I like to think anyway.
Or he might do what he did in the God's Plan video and just go into the supermarket and spray $1 million cash.
Just like
because he can.
Buying this on me.
I
know. Because you're bored. See, that's different things.
In there,
you do that because
you're bored. Sprayed the whole music video budget in the supermarket real quick.
Have you ever met Drake, Shortee?
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't. Which is really weird. Like the first time Drake came on Kiss, he didn't come to the specialist show. He didn't come to the show that first played Drake.
Oh, this is what I was saying about specialist shows, man. Man used to get all the interviews. I went to specialists and like, you go hang over there, Sty. You're good now.
Then people didn't know about Drake until man played Drake and was like, oh, who's this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the business.
Yeah. So the specialists always play it first, man.
Yeah, of course.
The specialists always play it first.
And as well, even with 50, I didn't even get to meet 50 yet because with Get Rich or Die Trying and all that stuff, we were the first to play it before certain other DJs on the scene. We had it first and we placed it first because we were on a Wednesday. So we played it first, and we hammered that album into the ground because it was such a phenomenal album. And when he came over, it was certain people were playing favorites with other DJs, which is the business. It's cool. I get it. That's why I don't really do the industry thing. So it's whatever in it.
Real talk.
Whatever.
Yo, 50 Cent would have been a mad interview, though, bro.
It would have been a wicked interview.
That would have been sick, innit? He seems like a good guy. Quite serious at times, but I feel like if you got him on a level, that would be fire.
You know what? I think around that time, around the Get Rich or Die Trying time, I think that would be quite a tense time to.
Yeah. He was on his G shit then.
That's when the stories are flying around. Like, obviously, like I've spent quite a few moments with Who Kid, and we've had conversations about like his time DJing for G Unit and that, and the time that there's times 50 Cent has slammed him into walls for certain things, and like
oh my days.
Back then, so it's like Seems like a real hothead. Like,
Yeah,
he's the guy. Yeah, if you press these buttons the wrong way, he's the kind of guy that would just.
He'll launch over the table. He'll jump over the table.
Yeah, you're gonna know about it, innit?
Yeah.
But then you got people like because I remember back in the day, this is before the hip hop show was mine on Kiss. I was just a mix DJ at the time for Max and Dave. Shout out to Max and Dave. Reason I'm on air 25 years later.
Yes.
So it's them. They had Buster. They had Buster, Rampage, and Common. And I DJ'd for the cipher that they did. I've got it on Minidisc somewhere. Minidisc, remember that?
Minidisc. When that stuff come out, I was like, the future is here. That's
Definitely.
That's how it felt.
I was actually sad. I was sad when that died, man, because it was so convenient. Like this little thing.
It was crisp, innit?
Yeah, you can record like 400 minutes or something.
Bruh. Yeah. I used to go out, leave something recording, go out, come back, and then I've got 4 hours worth of tune. You know what I mean? But yeah, what I was saying.
You didn't have to sit and rewind it when you were finished. Like you just
go
skip the track back. Amazing.
They never got the love. They never got the love they deserved. Minidisc. I feel like it was a short-lived run, in it.
Yeah. Underrated media in that. You know what I mean? But what I was saying about Buster though, right, is like which I doubt will never get him like that again. Like a good friend of mine at the time was the biggest Buster fan. So anything that had Buster on it, like any record that had Buster on it, he would buy that. Like, because he was just such a Buster fan.
Straight up, just a purchase.
Everything. So when he came to Kiss that time, I said, roll with me, man, because man's going to be there. Hopefully we'll get him to sign some of your records. So we did the show. I think it finished, it was 9 to 11 at that time. Max and Dave already went home. So we were all in the other studio, because I used to mix out of Studio 3 at Kiss. And he was in there. And I just wanted to get him to take some pictures with my guy. And he said, could you sign some records? And he pulled out this big stack of records.
Guy pulled out a box,
So then it kind of just clicked. Buster was like, yo. So he's talking about every feature that he did. He's talking about arguing with leaders of the Newskool, and, they'll do a take, and then as soon as the take's done, they're fist fighting. And we'd never get Buster like that again, because he was so amped that somebody would love him so much that he signed every piece of vinyl.
Sick.
And we didn't leave Kiss till 3 a.m.
Wow.
Because he was just there chilling.
That is proper.
Exactly. He sent the rest of the team to the hotel. You not go. I'll just get a cab. This was when Disaster Strikes album. So Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See was the biggest. Biggest thing on road, and he was just up there just chilling, just talking about memories, because he's never probably done that before at that point. So, I doubt he'll even remember that situation because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But you'll never get artists like that again. But those are the times that are the most precious. Do you know what I mean? Especially for a DJ that loves artists and loves artist music and that. So things like that.
That's a special moment, bro. Like
special.
You're talking about Busta Rhymes as well, bro. Like certified hip hop legend, in my opinion.
Skinny Buster too.
Mad. The skinny.
The
skinny Buster.
Yeah, at his lock still. Yeah, at his lock still. Yeah.
So 25 years you've been doing the radio thing now, Shortee, yeah?
Yeah, I started in 1995, just doing weekly mixes with Max and Dave.
Mad.
And I used to travel from Brixton with 2 record boxes, on the tube, on the bus, and walk down Holloway Road. That's where the original Kiss was. And sometimes I'd get there and I wouldn't get to mix because we ran out of time, Shorts, or we do it next week. But it was something that I enjoyed doing. I got a chance to actually go DJ on radio, and shout out to Big Ted, because he's the reason why I'm already, because they asked him to do it first, but he was on choice for 279.
Okay.
I can't do it, but my little dude here, he's dope. Give him a chance. If you like him, use him.
See, the plug, bro, that's the one.
It's all important, you know what I mean? So I always give thanks to all of those that helped me do that from back in the day, man. And 25 years later, I do the radio show with MK now, and we've been doing the show together for probably 12 years now.
Wow.
And time's running, man. I
was about to say, bro, 12.
It's mad, right? Bro, it's mad. When you deep it, it's mad. Like, time's running. Like,
it's not stopping, is it?
My oldest is 13. Like, the hell.
Yeah, I feel like that. I can't remember if we had this conversation on the pod before, but I feel like the older you get, the quicker time goes.
Yeah, blatantly.
Like, now I'm like, I wake up and I blink and it's bedtime, and I don't like back in the day, like when you're younger. I just remember a day would stretch, man.
Yeah,
and you'd get so much shit done, and you do this, and you still got hours left at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Bare time left over, but I don't know what happened because now, obviously, we used to. When you're younger, you had a certain amount of time to do what you wanted. You had to, if you were living at home, you had to do certain stuff at home. You had the chores, you had to get done. There's dinner with family and school work, college work, whatever.
Real talk.
Now that obviously we just got to pay bills, there's no time left.
Oh, no time. I need a time machine, bro.
You get me?
I'll tell you, take me back.
Shortee, how have you been working the prereqs with MK, with being in different buildings and sending them off? How are you doing?
There's a thing called what's it called? It's called something feed, and we can do our links together. But
okay,
we're doing we were doing that up until till my boy Ty passed, right? So he was my big brother. So you know, even me doing this is new because as soon as I got the news that he passed, all phone contact was done with me. I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't doing any interviews. I had to let MK do the links for a couple of weeks. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But at the moment we're doing so he'll send me his mix and I'll just voice it, and then vice versa.
Okay.
But it's called Clean Feed. It's an app. It's wicked.
Clean Feed.
So our producer Andy, he's got this Clean Feed. He's like, this is going to change the game. So it's like we're in the same room. We can hear each other, and we'll just be jumping in and out of links with each other and stuff.
Yo,
like
bro, that radio jar did that no signal are using at the minute. They've been doing a lot of the way they've synced their clashes up. Yeah, they've been using. I don't know if it's the same thing they're using, but same kind of software, and it allows them to have 5-6 man spread all over London in different gaffs.
That's wicked, man.
And it's like they're broadcasting from the same studio.
Yo, they better mind. I might not leave my house ever again.
Bro, I'm telling you, Shortee's going to be doing show from your heart forever now.
In my underwear room, like, hey, mate.
Would you ever do a club set from the house? If a club said, right, set your things up, we'll have a camera link to the club.
Yeah. Why not? What you would do it?
I'm right. I'll be on it, fam.
I mean, it's worth a try, right?
I ain't going nowhere. I'm chilling in the yard, playing the rhythms. Bit weird.
The only choice, if they were like, right, we want to book you for it, and we can't have you in the club. We can only have you doing the cam link. I'll do it. But if I had the option, I would rather be in the club.
I'd rather be in the club when it's safe.
100.
When it's safe, I'll be in the club, definitely.
When it's safe, yeah.
When it's safe. I mean, I have to make sure that I feel safe, or the set's going to be shit anyway. So.
Yeah, real talk. Can't even concentrate.
You've always got to have your mind on the creative side rather than anything else. That's why I struggled with live streaming. And I've had this conversation a billion times on previous episodes because I struggled to get the live streaming locked down because, excuse the pun, because I had so many technical difficulties that when I was trying to do this, the camera would stop working, the laptop would stop working, the internet would stop working.
It'll take focus away, right?
I'm getting flustered trying to sort this live stream out, and then by the time I've done that, I'm not in the mood to be spinning records.
Yeah, no vibes left.
So it was long.
Double and live streaming do not get along.
Not get on, mate. We did not get on.
Yeah, I only did a couple of things, man, and you know, it's been all right. I prefer to do things on Zoom, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't tried Twitch yet because I haven't sorted out. All this time I haven't sorted out my OBS. Like I've been waiting to sort it out. I just, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know what I mean? But
you two can troubleshoot each other.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be my tech support from now on, innit?
Oh my days.
Yeah, our stylist, he knows all about that stuff.
Oh, bro, listen.
But with Zoom, I think it's I actually like Zoom because one, it don't lock off the music at all, and whoever's in the room in the Zoom with you, you can see them, you can communicate with them. I think it's better than IG. To me, I think it's better than IG.
No, I agree.
They'll lock you off, and then you can't. You're reading, I'm short-sighted anyway. I ain't got time to do all that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look like this. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, all that. That's what I'm saying. That can't work. That can't work.
Yeah.
It can't work.
You see them ones where the phone's too far away and man can't read it and they're leaning over the deck.
Lately. Man squinting like, nah, I'm not in it.
I've not done a Twitch party yet. I'm not a Twitch one, a Zoom. But I can see how that would be a vibe. At least you can see what's going on, bro. Like you say, you can see people in it. Like
people, and when the camera pans to the people, they're in full costume dancing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Bare girl in there, it's nice.
Because it's almost like, even though you can see other people's cameras, it's like a closed off thing in it. So not like unless
it's a private party
off, no one from the outside is watching. So it's not like going to be 10,000 people watching other people. So I've found like when the people are in the Zoom, they're all vibes in there, just letting loose and doing what they want to do, dancing on camera if they want. If that was like an open platform, if it was like a
ain't no one moving like that.
That was a shared story or whatever, and the potential of people to just dip in and watching out, people wouldn't. It'd be a bit more uptight, I think. But
I hear that.
I enjoy it. I did a couple of Zoom ones, and I did enjoy doing it. And that was kind of just close friends and
it's a private party, isn't it? To be honest, like it's a curated party.
I think Martin does a lot. I think Martin was doing a lot for Jägermeister or something like that. I've seen him on his story a few times, and like they just plug in. They got like 150 man on the screens.
Yeah, it's mad.
Party poppers, like all go. Bro, do you know what? Yeah, what's that program on Netflix where it has the weird storylines? Is it Black Magic or something? Black Mirror. Oh, listen, see this conversation we're having now. This is like a Black Mirror episode. Talking about people dancing in the living rooms on Zoom to DJ sets and that. Like that is something from the future, mate. I feel like in the last 6 months, like the world has moved to a different.
It's a totally different
place. It's
crazy. I never saw it. Like I never could see that this would be what normality is.
It's mad.
I just never thought that it would be that. Do you know what I mean? I'm just lucky that we, if worst comes to worst, we can still hopefully kind of eat off this from this way. So we're kind of lucky because certain other people, they're just dead in the water.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And again, it is tough. There's not enough money coming in, but we can still do certain things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a testament to the talent that we have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Because I think, if you're there just to be a superstar DJ, after all that shit is gone, you got to be able to DJ. You got to be able to build vibes.
When you strip it all back.
Build moments, When all the bells and whistles are gone, what do you have?
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
That's definitely something like this time definitely showed a lot of people up where they've got like 3 million followers and they jumping on a live stream to like 64 people. There was a few embarrassing.
Don't be tight, man.
At the start of this second, showed them up. But you know what? I feel like I kind of saw. No, I wouldn't say I predicted it, but I was open to the evolution of it from when Coachella did that Tupac performance.
What, the hologram?
The hologram thing. Yeah.
That opened up a conversation. I remember having a conversation with some people about like, would they go and see an artist perform? If you knew it was an artist, would you go and see like a Biggie concert if it was a hologram?
I think I would. I mean,
maybe you would.
If it was a sick one, like a man's out here doing it, damn right.
Of course, I think then it switches it as well to like, would you go and see it if it was someone who's alive? Because if you can see the real person, would you go and see? With Biggie, you maybe would, because it'd be like, I never saw Biggie live. Like he died before I was even DJing.
Yeah, I saw him once.
So I would I feel like they probably would capture it properly. They'd get his energy, because the Tupac one, it looks like they did it really on point.
Because like, how did they do it? Did they like take movements from certain videos and certain other live performances?
Mate, how they did it is so amazing. So they really studied how he moved, even to like down to how he performed when he had his chains on. And they created his chains to swing. Get this, the way they did the voice, all of his voice was his real voice.
Okay, right.
And they went through basically every archived interview and chopped different bits out. But then
pieced all the lyrics together like that. Wow.
Mate, there was one phrase, and I think when he came out on stage and he said something like, "Yo, Coachella, what's up?" Like,
wow.
the word Coachella didn't exist.
Like, I was going to say, he would never have said it.
No. So when you look how they did it, right, they basically chopped up different words from him. Like, I think they said, they found one interview where he says the word coach. And he only says it once in one interview ever. And so they
that is.
And then they had to cut they had to cut bits of words out to get Ella and put it together, so Coachella. But then they had to do it in a way that it wasn't like Coachella, like it was
right.
Yeah, that's the bit.
It was bare tweaks.
Proper. So the engineer was talking about how he did it, and I think for that one sentence was like 8.5 hours worth of sitting there production. Like it was mental.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's earning your money as well, though, man. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have a proper engineer, your shit might not make it. Because like engineer, you can't downplay the importance of an engineer. Yeah, definitely. It's a different skill altogether. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously the music is definitely a skill, but mixing and mastering is
real talk. We got a couple engineers in Manny now that are like, they're like the go-to people, and people say to them like, bro, like they're making the music and it sounds hard, but having that mix that I mean, tightening up them drums, making it knock like that is a separate skill. Big up the engineers.
There's certain engineers that are so good at what they do, you can hear when it's their mix.
True.
And that might sound like a mad thing to say, but like, do you guys know who Dukas is, for example?
Yeah, I know Dukas, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. So he engineered like most of Giggs. I think he did the whole of Giggs' Landlord album.
The Landlord and the album before, I think, as well. I think he did the joint. He definitely did the Mark Ronson tune that sounded like a Just Blaze beat. I don't know what it's called, but he definitely that bangs. So he bangs, man. Now Dukas is my guy, man. But for a second, as soon as you mentioned him, right, I got to give him his flowers because that guy can dance well. Yeah. Dude can sing. Yeah. Man's classically trained on the piano. Man. His middle name is Ludwig, rude boy. Right? He's a genius. Yo, listen, I'm sorry, Dukes. I didn't mean to say your middle name, but his dad named him Ludwig because they're on this piano thing. Like
I was about to say, it sounds like some Mozart classical shit going on.
I'm telling you, bro.
Ludwig,
and the dude can rhyme. Like he's been a rhymer from day. I knew him as an MC.
Sick.
I knew him when I first met him back in the 90s. He was an MC. He can do all this like high level neck shit.
I was gonna say when you said man can dance, see these studio rats, the engineers, people that live in there, like you don't see them out cutting shapes.
Yo, bro, he's not even cutting shapes. Man's salsa dancing, he's salsa dancing.
He's a cold artist as well. So he's Colombian. Also, so he's got this is his phrase, not mine. He's got the Spanglish going on.
The Spanglish.
So he's doing music right now that flicks between being Latino and English.
Okay.
Music, man. Like,
he's a genius. He's a genius. Like whatever he wants to do, he does it at a high level. So big up to Dukes, man. I've sat in rooms with him. He's produced for other people, countless people, but genius.
He told me the story of the Tory Lanez Popcorn and Fredo tune. Before You Get Lazy, the two cups, 2 cups that dropped last year.
Did he produce that?
He uses the Diwali rhythm sample. Right? He was telling me, we actually had this conversation on my channel. He showed me how he remade it because they couldn't clear the sample. He just replayed it. So it was an interpolation instead of an actual sample.
And it sounds like the sample.
Bruv, and he showed me how he did it and how he got the rhythm to it and everything. Mate, the way he broke that down, I was like, this guy understands it.
Yeah, that's mad. I didn't even know that he made that. I didn't even know he made that beat. I haven't spoken to him for a while, but I didn't know he made that beat. And I used to bang that all over the place, that tune.
I bullied him into showing me, because he's such a humble guy as well. He doesn't really like to
He's not a brag. He don't brag.
So I was like, right, pick the camera up. We're going around the studio and you're going to tell me about every single plaque you have in the studio. And he goes through it. When you see the ones that he's got, like...
where's this content?
Oh, that's on my channel. YouTube.
No, don't plug your own channel. Don't plug your channel in here, bro.
Start, I didn't even know. Where is this?
No, that's gonna making me want to. I'm not going to be doing no work after this. I'm probably going to slap that on.
Yeah.
Guy plugged his own channel, you know.
But anyway, sorry, I just want to make that other point that we went off then. With the holograms and stuff. After I saw the 2-pack one, I really could envisage somebody like a David Guetta or someone like that sending their hologram to Miami to do a show, or I'm going to space in Ibiza tonight to see the David Guetta hologram, and then from there it just sort of filtering down, and then eventually just everyone's.
Oh, they might project it into your crib.
Yeah,
imagine if you could just be in the living room, and you can just attach a thing to your telly, and then fucking Biggie pops up in front of your TV.
That'd be sick though, man. I mean, for me,
well,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd watch anybody that's living. No, I probably would. I mean, I'd give anything a go once. It's worth experience at least once. Now.
Yeah, true.
I tell you the one thing that I would actually. This is a conversation I had with someone else. The one performance I think would be sick as a hologram would be the real Damian Marley on stage performing with a Bob Marley hologram.
Woo!
Yeah, that's mad.
That would be that I would pay big bits to go and
that'd be big though, because even Junior Gong watching him live and is dope. Like the family's so talented, and the brother that does the flag behind him.
Healthy that guy, like
for the whole show.
Big flag, like.
I saw them in Australia, right? When the Damian Marley and Nas album came out. It was 30 degrees. My man was on there for 2 hours. He did not stop swinging that flag. But I was like,
yeah,
props, man. Listen, man, it's
30 degrees, but he's from Yard.
They're from Yard though, so that's regular.
Put a jumper on today. He's getting cold doing it.
It cold all time, you know. It cold.
Guys talking about Junior Gong, and we're here bigging up the flag bearer, you know.
Yeah, no. Junior Gong's a bad man, but the flag guy.
I hear it. 2 hours still.
Yeah, get me 2 hours. You can't hurt a man like that. He's got too much power for man.
He's putting the work in. Wow.
Shorty, do you remember your first ever club set?
Flipping heck.
Nah, we're back.
The guy that smoked into thin air.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. I've never actually been asked that before ever. So,
first one, you know.
Nah, first one ever.
Nah, because when I started, we started doing house parties first.
Okay.
Like, all around South London, like me and my crew. Shout out to James Yard, shout out to Damien Silk. We basically were a little sound system, and we used to just run around South London, find an empty house, pay the neighbours,
slapping up house parties, you know.
All that, that's what we used to do, man.
Pay the neighbours,
pay the neighbours so they won't call the police, and then we'd put black bags on the windows, charge people to come in and rave, until feds come and stop it. That's what we did for like a good 5 years until.
How did you spread the word back then?
It was word of mouth. We did flyers. That was how it was.
Right.
We'd give certain people in certain areas a bunch of flyers, but then it'd be mostly word of mouth. This is when I'm really aging myself now, man. This is when we had the 1-to-1 phones, the flip phones, where it was 7 till 7, 3 calls.
Oh my!
So we were living like
I said 1-to-1, 1-to-1.
1-to-1. That's T-Mobile for you young kids, all right?
Cell net days.
All them times, man.
Was it that Motorola, the StarTAC phone?
The StarTAC phone. Nah, I didn't have money for that back then.
Bro, I was gonna say that was the baller phone, innit? The little plastic pop up, the flip.
Yeah, all of that. Nah, man. I had the Mercury 1-to-1 flip phone. And
the Mercury, you know. Wow.
Bruh, it was a godsend. Yo, the reason why my missus was with me, right, I courted my missus on that phone. Like, with the battery and all that. Like, I'd be able to talk to her for 12 hours if I wanted, just to make sure.
Yeah, you know the battery life is
she's my lady. Trust me, bro.
From 7 until 7. So
7 till 7.
Don't call me after the curfew because
Yeah, I'm not picking up nothing.
See that word of mouth, bro. That's the most powerful way to push events. Like, I feel like that old school like vibe and energy. It's just not. It's not there. You got to tap it up in different ways now, and word of mouth is still different. There, but you've got to engage people in your instas and your socials and that. Whereas back then, if something was hot, man would tell next man to tell next man to tell next man. And before you know it, your shit was popping. Like, I just feel like it's not at that space anymore, innit? Like, that was a good time, that, man.
And that's the reason as well. Like, you know, that's how I got into the clubs, because we were doing stuff all over South London, like every weekend. So I'd work my Saturday job, go home, get changed, and then I'm out going to go pick up the set, find the yard, make sure that there's people that knows what's happening, and then we party until EastEnders on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Then we go home.
Mad.
It's mad. And like, we got away with a lot back then, but that's how I got in the clubs, because obviously there'd be certain promoters that used to go check out who was doing what in what area, and that's where it kind of started.
That's sick.
When they were looking then, were they looking for which DJs were shutting down the sets and looking for talented DJs, or were they looking for the house parties with the biggest following?
I think it was a bit of both, because you know, there was enough for everybody back in the day, because we was in a sound called Class Act. There was Strictly Business, which Treble T was from, who's in Rampage now. And then obviously there was Rampage as well, which we were brought into Rampage through Dr. Psycho. Rest in peace. Do you know what I mean? That's my big bro right there as well. Like, everybody looked after each other, and obviously Boogie Bunch, which was the rival sound to Rampage, which Boogie Bunch was DJ Swing.
Okay.
So rest in peace. Again, like,
wow.
We had a lot of OGs that were really about this thing, and I can't understate their importance on a man like me anyway, and on the way that we receive music, and how we were first taught to do what you do. Don't watch what next man's doing. Do what you do.
Okay.
Be your own vibe. Bring what you do to the table, because no one can do you but you. And that was back then, and do you wasn't the phrase back then, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I've gone off piece. I don't know what was I saying. what was I saying? I missed my point.
It happens all the time, but
we do it all the time, don't we? We were talking about if the promoters back then. What I was getting at is you mentioned about the club promoters were looking around.
Yes.
The house parties and stuff. So I was interested to know if it was about talent then, or about the fan base and following. Obviously, tying that into how nowadays it's more about how many Instagram followers you've got.
Yeah,
so I wanted to see if there was like a huge difference with the early house party days, or if it's just changed its clothes.
Great question, Double. Great question.
It's a wicked question, because I've never.
That's what you're on here for, mate.
Yeah. You're not just pretty. But no, it's no, basically I think it's probably both. But I used to think it was because of who was doing their job well back then. So, you know, we all kind of just moved from house parties into the clubs then. So it became a big thing. And then obviously Rampage we're putting on big events. So we were part of the street team for Rampage. So we were when Naughty by Nature first came out, we were promoting those shows. When Das Effects first came, when Redman first came, when Onyx first came to Hammersmith Palais, and you know, it was people was peaceful. They were lined up to go in. Police came, set dogs on everybody, and just turned it into a war zone outside. For no reason. You know what I mean? And I almost didn't get to see the show because whoever was inside, they shut the doors because it was a madness outside. Because everybody was running for their lives because the police just set dogs on people. But you know, we had some of the greatest times. But moving into the clubs, I think it was because it had to be a combination of both. It had to be a combination of both clubs.
I feel like now it's go on.
Well, no, I was going to say, I guess back then, it's almost like the following would be there if you had the talent. Whereas nowadays, looking at social media, the following is there if the following's there. Like, people follow just because other people follow. Whereas in the past, if you had a house party that was dead, next time you put a house party on, no one's coming because it was dead last time. I'm going Rampage instead. Like, no, no one's there. Well, so eventually your following would just dwindle down until it's just your mates, and then no one's coming. So do you know what I mean? Whereas now the difference with that, I guess, is on social media, it's the click of a button. It's no effort. And if you're a dead DJ, no one really cares because they just want to follow
whatever's hot.
Following.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I think it is that. I think it's because none of our house parties were dead. Like we did our thing. The only reason why we stopped doing house parties was because the DTI were coming in and taking sets. They were taking the actual equipment and they were taking the records. When I heard they were taking the records, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. So he's out.
I'm out.
I hear that. So they would actually confiscate all the gear and the records and all that as well?
It was at the time. It was only gear at first.
Okay.
So I was like, man, that's what God, that's fucked up, fam. You know what I mean? But then they started talking about records, so I was like, it was nice knowing you, man. I'm off. Yeah,
the house parties were fun. The house parties were fun, guys, but I'm out.
You know how long it took me to buy all these
wheels. I bet your vinyl collection is pretty hench, right?
It's nice, but I stopped in 05. I stopped as soon as I got Serato, because I went on a trip to I went to DJ at some seminar in Vancouver in 04. And the guy that brought me out there, good dude as well, shout out to Lala, he brought me out there and he told me about this new format. And I was like, nah, that seemed like Final Scratch to me, man. He goes, yeah, it's like Final Scratch, but this one works because I've been a couple of years before. Because I remember there was a DJ when I used to DJ in Magaluf on a Sunday during the summer, and there was a DJ that used to laugh at me that I was still carrying records.
Mad.
Oh, why you got this? I've got so many records in here, and his shit used to crash. His shit used to crash all the time, and I'd have to take over again. And so you laughing at me for? So I never trusted.
Okay.
But so when it came time again in 04, he showed me about this. I was like, nah, it's a bit too Final Scratchy for me. I'm not really doing that. I want to make sure that nothing drops out. He's like, nah, this is the truth. A-Track and Jazz Jeff used this thing. And he showed me a video of them using it. I was like, if Jazz Jeff and A-Track can do that, then I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the first maybe first month of using it, turning up with laptop and all that, people were laughing at man.
It's a bit different, innit? At first, the first couple of times, plugging in
DJs love it. You going on a business trip, son. You know what I mean? People were laughing at man, like trying to clown me, like because I'm turning up with no records and just the laptop and the two-piece
like
of vinyl.
The least hip hop thing as well.
Get me?
It's like you're not hip hop, bro. Like,
you ain't about this life.
Exactly. and even though like when I first started using it, I used to still take the record off. Like it was a habit I had to really work hard to break. So I play a tune and then I'm on another one. Then because I used to just switch tunes quick anyway. If anyone used to see me, vinyl used to fly everywhere.
It's got to be throwing them over, landing in the right wallets and that.
I wish, mate. It weren't like that, Jesus. But yeah, using it, I think I kind of just went. I used to carry maybe about 20 records, just in case anything went wrong. But then it just got to a point where I was just like, nah, man, no safety nets. Let's just go. Let's just do it. And I haven't looked back since. I think my last record that I bought was in 05.
Mad.
So I've got a wicked selection of tunes, but it's up to a certain point.
Okay. You got them in storage or what? Because I see these people, they're end up having to they have that many. I thought I had a lot, and then I see in people's collections and their whole walls, 10 high, 10 across. I'm like, okay.
Bro, I had them in storage.
Crib collection.
And imagine how much free stuff he used to get.
That's what I'm saying.
How much promos and how many copies of promos.
You must have got a lot though, Shorty, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Radio over the years, like when they used to send the vinyls to the crib, like them. Imagine we had them days now.
It used to be a daily occurrence, man.
Serious.
And, you know, I had my records in storage for 12 years.
Okay.
I could have redone the garage to make it a storage room for the records. All that money I spent. So it's back in the garage now, and you know it's sad because
it's sad.
I just want to because they're in boxes. They're not on shelves.
Oh, so you can't just flick through them.
Yeah, the garage is a Mazda right now. It's
Bro, the minute you start flicking through them, this is what happened. I sold my vinyl collection about.
Did you?
About 8 months ago.
He did the blasphemous move.
Wow.
Yeah, I sold them all. I got an offer I couldn't refuse, man. And same way, I had nowhere to put them, and mine was more of a garage collection, which makes it semi even worse because a lot of them were one-time runs, or like the vinyl's printed on one side, the other side's blank. Like I had some,
you can't get them one-aways.
I had like some test presses and that. As the money was too good, but yeah, looking back now,
I mean, if you got the money for it, then cool.
Yeah, they definitely paid. They definitely paid. But I remember looking through them the day before, and I'd not looked through them for time. Like you just said, they're in boxes, and I'm flicking through them, and just every vinyl was like a memory of a booking or when something's happened, and I'm just like, wow, what am I doing?
And that's the thing as well. That's the thing. That's the reason why I miss record shopping as well, because there was a community of us. So on a Friday and Saturday, you'd link up with Hollywood DJs, and obviously you'd have the guy in the shop that would save a bag for man. So, I've got some stuff that I think you're gonna like.
Yeah. No, they were the ones, man. On Mondays you go in, and just like, here's your pile, so no one else can see the decent ones.
We do a tour. We do a tour of London. So if it was Solar Records, which was a record store in Brixton Tube Station. Shout to Zed. And then they had some things in there. It was like, once it's gone, it's gone. So like they would have proper rare music. And we go West End, we go Clapham Junction to go Dub Vendor, we go Labatt Grove Dub Vendor as well. We go all over the place, and you buck up DJs, and that made it like these are our peers. A lot of people we don't see these days.
A little community, it's a little community thing, isn't it?
That's a sad thing about it. Because everybody's doing their thing online and all that cool, but you can't really just link up and touch people. So shout out to DJ City for their link ups as well. I only ever got to one of them, but I'm glad they did stuff like that. Shout out to Playing the Crew.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, like you say, that whole culture of just that same way when I came through, like you would link half these DJs and built my initial first little circle of people on the same page in the record stores. We had Fat City Records, Vinyl Exchange is still there, Piccadilly Records. I think Vinyl Exchange is the only one left. Piccadilly Records is hanging on, but we used to have loads in Manny. And
what record shop did Sefton used to work in? Do you know a guy called Sefton?
I'm not sure.
Oldskool guy.
It rings a bell though. It wasn't Floss Mode, was it? No.
It was a legendary shop though in the 90s.
Yeah, we had loads, man. But I remember the same way we'd bounce around them all, link a DJ in each one. Fat City, they used to, because we used to go in there so much, and we got that like rapport with them. They would put the bag of new stuff down, and they would let us go into the basement. So they'd have the big stash was in the basement, and they'd have a couple of turntables down there. So he'd be like, "Yo, yeah, come on, you just go down there and do your thing." He knows I'm taking 90% of what he gives me anyway. So it was one of them, but it was a sad day when they closed, man.
Yeah, man.
We had one in Brighton called Mic Check. A guy called JJ who ran it, but it was there was a couple. I mean, Brighton even now has record stores, but this was the one where, as a club DJ in Brighton, that's where you get your ingredients. Do you know what I mean? Like, JJ has all of the imports, all the AV8 records, all the AV8 party breaks. It was
important.
The proper rare imports as well. I think at one point I bought Fat Man Scoop Be Faithful for, I think it was £20 for one song on the AV8 thing. £20 for that, because
I had it on the AV8.
He had 5 copies. And that was the party break of the moment. Do you know what I mean? That was if you put that in the club, bruv, it's going off.
That was your get out of jail free card.
Bro, it's still. I don't play it anymore, but that will still save raves. That, bro. Depending on your crowd, obviously.
But imagine back then though. Like now, you can literally, obviously, like we don't condone it, but even if you couldn't find it anywhere, you can go and rip it off YouTube. But back then. Right? He's got 5 copies in. That's it. That's all he's got. That's all there is in the whole city. But there's 15 DJs.
That's the thing. If you didn't have that vinyl, bruv, you can't. It's not like now. Man will rip it, download it, find the legal stream. Like if you didn't have the record, play.
You can't play it.
And you need the plug in the shop as well. He's gonna think, okay, Double's gonna want this. You know what I mean?
I remember he had one actually. I was lucky. I got to that status eventually before I moved on to Serato and before record stores kind of died out, before Mic Check shut down. I got the status of JJ has held records for me. And I remember one in particular, he was like, right, we've been sent some of these from the label in America. We've only got 10, and I'm telling you, this record is going to be massive. He's like, you need this in your club sets. And I was like, okay, let me listen to it. I was listening, I'm like, it's all right, but it's all right. And he goes, no, trust me, this girl is going to be massive. Her name's Rihanna.
Oh, my.
Right.
Was that if it,
yeah,
is it, was it?
And it was in that maroon.
Yeah,
you
I remember it.
I
remember it.
And they had the white outline of like a turntable, and it was like a maroon colour.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was a Def Jam release of Ponder Replay. And I specifically remember he saved one for me, and he was like, this is going to turn things up. And sure enough, like, about 6 months later, it was the biggest song in the world.
Massive.
Like, even then, like, it took such a long time from being in a record store to being in my sets, and I'm playing it out in the warm-ups because I was kind of a warm-up DJ in Brighton at the time. And then 6 months later, that was it. It was like the biggest tune in the whole set, like crazy.
I met her around that time as well. That's the only time I met her, actually. Jez Wellham is well, I don't know if he still is, but he was good friends with her. And he just
mad. Just got it like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, because he.
Oh my
days. Yeah.
Oh my
days. Like he's a proper industry mover and shaker, man.
Yeah,
he shows in New York and all that stuff, and like he knows his onions, man. But going back to what you said, Dubs, right? It was like certain tunes back in the day. I love doing this, like where you get tunes that are not big yet. But you know it's a tune. You know it's coming. And you play. You might even clear the floor a couple of times. You know the amount of times when I used to DJ at Ministry on a Friday night, right? The amount of times I cleared the floor with Snoop Drop It Like It's Hot.
Wow. Wow.
It took 6 weeks of clearing the floor, and I'm like, nah.
I'm persevering with this.
Nah, this tune is gonna be big.
You man are gonna take this one.
Yeah, bro. It's mad. Hold it. Like you're gonna remember it sooner or later. I'll play something that you know afterwards. But I think again, speaking to you guys, I've seen you both DJ, and I know you know what you're doing. So it's a thing of, I don't mind where people don't like certain tunes at the time or whatever, or they just don't get it. You know, I'll even if I sandwich it between two tunes that they love, and there's a dip in the vibe.
Yeah.
But this is what we have to do. We have to build vibes. And we have to stop playing the same shit all the time. You know what I mean? Because that just makes it boring.
Real talk.
Makes it boring.
It's about taking risks as well.
Like,
just doing something that, as a DJ, that's your flavor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so even you can hear a certain trick or a certain scratch or a certain anything and know that, right, this DJ is putting his own personality into those records. Mm-hmm. I think there's one time, Shortee, we did Twice as Nice together.
Oh, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Say that again.
I remember hearing it. We did a Twice as Nice event together.
Yeah.
And it was around freshers, so it was one of the student events, you know, where it's kind of a little bit more open format. And I remember you doing some mad trick with Wonderwall. I don't remember.
What, the blend?
It might have actually been Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yeah, it was Drop It Like It's Hot. I've done that for years, and it was just the first time I did it. It was wasn't an accident.
Just on the fly.
A lot of the things I do in the clubs are just things that happen on the fly that I don't really practice them at home. It's just a thing of, okay, I'm rolling now. Okay, let me try this with this.
Okay.
If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And I think
once you get in that flow and the creative is ticking.
And that's the thing. The only way when I start my sets, I work out the first tune I'm playing, and then from there it's just go. I don't know what's coming in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I find when you overthink it like that as well, but you don't even end up going that way.
Exactly.
I'll pick 100 songs and I'll be pulling my hair out, and then the set will start within 3 records. Right, that's in the bin.
Forget it.
We're going that way.
I usually plan like 5 minutes ahead of myself. I think in my prepare folder on Serato, but sometimes I might play a song that doesn't go how I expected it to.
Yeah.
And I'm like change direction. So the next like 2 or 3 records in the prepare
is building blocks,
and then I'm on to a next one. But I'm usually like 2 or 3 steps ahead of myself. With preparing it. But like you, like I don't sit and kind of plan everything. It's usually like, what's the first song going to be?
You can't plan what's going to be on the floor on the night. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have an idea, but you just never. You got to go in and feel the energy of the dance floor, man.
And I
see what the DJ before is playing, what the reactions are like, that kind of thing.
it's important to get there early enough. I learned this the hard way, but yeah, it's important to get there early enough to see what the vibe is. Yeah, man. It's like, you know, the guy that goes, does this happen to you as well, right? When you go into a place and you're the guest DJ, right? So, you know, you go in there and you're chilling, you're not even at the DJ booth yet. And, you know, it's just nice. They're warming up nicely, whatever. But then you go to the DJ booth and then they see you and then they start doing all this wild shit. Like they start doing Oliver scratching and all that before. I'm like, cool, do your thing. I mean, if that's what you do, do it. But I'm not just going to stand there and do a DMC set. It's about building a vibe. What I do with the cuts and scratches and all that kind of stuff is seasoning only.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've learned that. I've learned that over the years because back in the day, I'm sure
just the seasoning, you know.
It's blatant seasoning because it's about the selection. It's about the selection first and foremost, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's about the selection first. I
feel like you can DJ, do all this stuff, have all the tech in the world, but selection is the root
number
of
one.
It all. I agree, man.
There's a thing that I feel like a lot of younger DJs or less experienced DJs definitely go through it. I've been through it. I feel like probably you two may have in your careers as well. But when you know there's other DJs in the room, like
you wanna just turn it up a little bit.
Come out, innit? You bring out.
You wanna turn it up. Like, you wanna let them out.
I want to show you. I need to show you that I can back.
You got to mark your territory.
That's show you that I can. When you're a less experienced DJ, I feel like sometimes, especially if you're the warm up for a headline DJ, especially in your case, Shortee, like you're someone who a lot of DJs in our generation look up to. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, it's Shortee Blitz. Like, I'm DJing with Shortee Blitz tonight. So I see Shortee Blitz.
No pressure. No pressure.
I need Shortee Blitz to know that I can.
I'm nice.
I can Shortee Blitz. Do you know what I mean? When you're a less experienced DJ, there's it's difficult to find that balance between still holding the crowd down and doing what the crowd needs
and rinsing,
showing off the techers as seasoning instead of suddenly like.
Especially if they don't know, like Shortee's in the room, but he's at the other side of the bar, so he's listening. Yeah. He knows you've just gone from 0 to 100.
Right. It happens a lot, man. It's happened a lot, man. And it's weird. I mean, I get it. People, they need to make their name and do their thing. But if you're the resident DJ at the spot, you're already on. You're doing this thing. I'm just coming to see if I can bring whoever's there into my world and how I do things. Yeah. You already got the dance floor locked. This is your house.
I was gonna say.
I'm coming to guest, and it's like, you know, it's all with respect. Do you know what I mean? But I come to do what I do because I know myself and I know my vibe. It might not be like 10 bangers in one row because I feel that's too easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
anyone can play the hits, innit? Like they say.
Anyone can play the hits, and it's not what you play; it's how you play it as well. Mm-hmm. And Swing told me from back in the day, it's like, you know, just do your vibe, bring your vibe, because this was at the time where you go to certain DJs for certain things.
Yeah.
Certain DJs would have certain tunes that wholly but other DJs won't have because this is their vibe. So that's the school I'm from. Do you know what I mean? And again, I don't need you jumping out, you know, swinging from chandeliers for every song. Mm-hmm. We're on a journey. We go up and down. We build. We chill out, and then we bring it back up again. That's vibes.
I feel like all the old school cats have the same mentality. You know, like I feel like I just feel like if you've come from the different era of DJing and come through till now, everyone's kind of stuck with the same morals all the way through. I feel like the newer kids now, even going back to your point then about you play Drop It Like It's Hot 5-6 times and they did the floor every time, but stuck it out. I feel like now maybe a lot of these kids don't have the balls to stand there and own that record 5, 6, 7 times to drill it into them to you know what I mean, championing the music and making them like appreciate it. I feel like that's kind of
it's important. It's important because again, you got to believe in yourself. I mean, you can be running strong. Certain things, you know, everybody has an off day. Mm-hmm. You know, there's been times where it just didn't work out, you know, the way that I do things. But that's human. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather play and it be a great set, even with clangs and all that kind of stuff, because it's real. It can't if it's too perfect. We're not robots.
Yeah,
it
true
sounds
story.
programmed, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing I find as well is like a lot of DJs, the younger DJs, I mean, are afraid to take risks because they never have. They never like, bro, do you know how sick it is when you try a trick for the first time in a club
and it works?
And not only that,
the adrenaline's up.
The people react the way you want them to as well,
Exactly.
and they react to the trick. And it's like, I just did something sick. They actually know that I did something sick. This is amazing. Whereas I could have just mixed into the normal chorus or whatever, like But instead, I tried it and it worked. And now everyone's buzzing because I just did some amazingness. Or on the flip side, it's like I tried it, clanged the shit out of it. It went terribly. Everyone's staring at me. Now I've got to rescue this. Like even that's a bit exciting. Do you know what I mean? But if you're just doing straight mixes, it's just.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's nice. It's cool when I see some of the youngers do it as well. Like they're mixing and it's smooth and they're mixing quick. I like that. So nobody really gets a chance to get bored. But I've got to do it in my style. I can't do what you do. You know what I mean? I can't do it how you do it. And I think the way I was taught, you know, if something happens, you know, there was times where records would skip. Do you know what I mean? That don't happen no more. Well, that don't happen no more.
That shit would you it's like 3 minutes into the song, yo.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you have to learn how to recover. It's a no safety net thing. It's about this is how you build your confidence and this is how you build your craft. To me, this is how I see it. This is from my point of view only. But it's this what makes you be a great DJ. To me. Do you know what I mean? If you can crash and then recover.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like that's the thing. I think that's an experience thing, though. You know, because I remember when I made my first couple of fuck ups, and I'm like, I just want to dive behind the booth.
Yeah.
Get me out.
We've all been through it
real quick. But then eventually, you just learn to. I just end up laughing at myself, or I'll chat some shit on the mic for a hot second and just laugh it off.
And like, that's the thing as well.
You gotta own it.
You have to own it. Be like, okay, I get one tonight.
Yeah, real talk.
You gotta tell them, it's all good, don't worry.
But if you let it get you, that'll eat you up quick.
Yeah. And as well, you know what, it's important that DJs use the mic as well. Because again, it's another part of the personality. I learned this through Ty. I used to be a head down DJ, just play and have people MC for, man. But you know, when you haven't got money to pay an MC or there's no MC there, you got to do your thing.
Gotta hold it.
Speak to people.
Real talk.
And being on stages with him throughout the 90s, it trained me for that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I thank him again. You know what I mean? He put me under his wing and we saw the world, didn't it? So
sick, man.
You know, it's great.
Dr. Psycho was one of my, I think I want to say invisible mentor, because I was learning from him every step.
Every time, right?
But he didn't know that. He wasn't teaching me, but he was. Do you know what I mean? Like he was my invisible mentor, and because he was. I mean, we told stories about Dr. Psycho on the podcast so many times, like how he can turn the music off and hold a crowd literally for 5 minutes straight with no songs.
Yeah.
Like,
that's real talk.
Just doing it there. And another one for me as well, actually. Do you remember Quincy from Choice?
Yes, I know Quincy.
So, he was another one. I did a season in Napa, and Quincy was out there as well. This is before I was using the mic DJing. And I saw that he wasn't very good at mixing, but he did it the proper Jamaican way.
Selector.
I'm stopping the tune and I'm talking and I'm dropping the next tune. I'm stopping that and I'm dropping the next one. And I'm stopping that. Like, he did that very well. So I feel like I took part of what he did and part of what I learned from Psycho and kind of added flavour to it and just the road car crash of my hosting that it is now.
Oh my days!
Hey man, but you just got to own it. I'm sure it's not as bad as you say. I know your personality and the way that you come across to people. People like you, man, because you do what you do. You know what I mean? And it's honest though. You're not trying to be like the illest dude out there and the most road. You're you, right? I'm the same way. I'm not road at all. You know what I mean? I've got road people in my family, but it's not inclusive. I'm not road at all. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy to do what I do. You know what I mean? And the thing with Psycho and Swing, again, like you said, they'll turn off the music for 5 minutes, chat shit, and have people like they're raving. You know what I mean? Psycho will stop and be like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I was just gonna let you know there's police in backstage and all that. So if you're holding any weed in here, give it to me.
Yeah,
I'll hold it for you, and I'll give it to you after. You know what I mean? You have people bedded up.
Yeah,
like,
that's a proper day. Yeah, I hear that,
bro.
I can imagine him saying that shit as well.
Last year, and was the first year going summer without him, because he was from back in the day. He's the only one that I used to see all the time. So whether it was Napa, whether it was Ibiza, whether it was Zante, anywhere of the destinations, he was always there, and we would always link up. Yeah, so, you know, it's a very big void for me right now. With obviously Ty, that's my big bro. I went to college with his sister, and we rode together from time. And Psycho, he brought me into Rampage. He, you know, and he was there every second of my career until he passed. So every summer we used to, you know, I was always with Psycho. So last year was just the biggest void. It just felt funny.
Yeah,
you know
I can imagine,
it felt funny because he wasn't there.
Such a big character as well, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, but such a genuine character as well.
100%.
He just wanted to have fun, and that's what he did, man.
Yeah, definitely.
But such an ill DJ. Such an ill DJ.
Talking about he just wanted to have fun. One of my favourite memories was I might have been interviewing Fat Man Scoop, or I can't remember who it was. I was doing an interview backstage at a Twice as Nice event in Skegness.
It's Skegness.
Skegness, you know. Oh,
Psycho interrupted the interview dressed as a court jester, you know, like a medieval jester with like the big spikes, like a jester, a big colourful jester onesie.
Yeah.
To ask me if I wanted a lollipop. Literally, just
what, mid-interview?
Mid-interview, it's like, do you want one of these? Like, no, I don't want one of them. Sure. Yeah, I'm
you sure, you know? About double down.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, man.
His personality.
There'll never be anybody else like him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
101.
100%. With you were saying earlier about your style was about mixing real quick and stuff. And I remember, I think it was Ministry of Sound. Shouts to Michelle. Remember?
Shout out to Michelle. Yeah. Brighton, right?
Smooth.
Yeah,
that's right. And so she was the one that actually brought me up there. And you were playing that night. And I remember seeing you play. Actually, it might not have been Ministry. But anyway, I remember seeing a Shortee Blitz set.
Yeah.
Serato.
Yeah.
And
records everywhere.
No, records on top of records.
Yeah.
So as you started the set...
What, so man put like 5 on what? Like, fill up the spindle?
As he set up, before he started, he's got like a magazine full of clips right there on the turntable. He started the record. And what did you start with? Did you start with Smash Something, Redman? Did you used to use that as your intro?
Yeah, it's the intro. Yeah, because the horns crazy.
Yeah. He's alive!
Then, that's right. And then mix to the next one, and then take that record off, and there's one there. Like, the next one's already there.
No.
That was it.
I know what you mean. I never used to...
Health and safety out the window there.
But, you know, innit? No, but you know what it is, right? What I used to do, because obviously DJ booths and getting to your record box is a madness. So you got to give the DJ that was before you time to get out of the booth.
Yeah, true stories.
So probably what I would do, I'd just, okay, let me start with that, and then let me just put this there. So I'll put it there at the decks, and then they'll give them time to clear up and clear off. So I can, because I always used to switch records quick, even quicker than I did in Serato. I used to switch records really quickly. Like it's more of a New York style. Yeah.
You had them as a pile on the decks, though, right?
Not on the decks, probably next to the deck. So I'd be like probably have
I'm ready.
Got them ready. So let me try these.
Who was that then? I've seen it, and I'm.
Yo, if someone is stacking vinyl on top of each other on the turntable.
On the turntable, that's a mad thing.
So using a vinyl as a slip mat.
I won't be able to scratch.
I was gonna say.
Lift the needle off.
Oh no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
The next song is already underneath, and they just put it straight back on, and they're good to go. And literally was chopping super quick, but
that wasn't me. I don't think.
That's the weirdest thing, because
that would be mash up your records doing that.
I can picture you doing it.
Oh my god!
But no, because it might have been that one day. I don't know, but because I always used to at that time I always used to start with Smash Something, Because
that intro's powerful,
the intro's powerful, and it will give time to lead, and you can talk your shit on the mic, and you know what I mean. It might have been that day, but as a whole, I never really did that. But at the end of the set, I'd still be there for an hour putting things back in the sleeves.
Yeah, make sure everything goes right.
There'd be bare records everywhere.
I remember the cuts.
Yeah,
that you used to get on the bottom of your fingernails from going in and out of the. Listen, I got scars from that.
These are battle wounds.
No, that shit used to hurt for days afterwards. For days, man. Remember? For days, man. You're trying to put a record back in cricket. It's.
I'll say this. All that gone.
Bro, listen, I thought.
All there and there. No. Oh, man.
No, I thought it was just me, that must be a thing.
That's amazing.
The thing is, right, I love vinyl, yeah, but I don't miss carrying them shits, man. Trust me.
Yeah, they were bad for you.
We earned the Serato, man. We earned it.
Our generation of DJs have longer arms than the rest of them because we're like constantly carrying 30 kilograms in each arm.
Sometimes it'd be 2 chips to the whip, like depending how many you're carrying. Like if it was 3-4 cases, you're on your ones. You're not carrying that in one go. By the time you start your set, you are sweating up. Overworked, like, so he's trying to get your first track on.
And imagine as well, because like a lot of DJs now, they've either got the USB keys, they've got the whatever they use, right? But back in the day, you used to have to think, okay, I'm playing at 3 a.m. This guy's on before me, so he's gonna play all this. You got to play. You got to pack around these men.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? You have to.
Making sacrifices from the box, right? You're gonna have to come out tonight.
Play that. Yeah, exactly. All that. You know what I mean? And for me, back then as well, I used to carry double copies of everything.
Okay.
So that made it even more peak.
Yeah, that's long doing the doubles of everything.
Right.
What was the reason for that? So you could do the juggling and whatnot? Or...
Sometimes cutting up here and there.
Okay.
But then sometimes it might be just a mixing thing, just like mixing one into another. Bring it in at a certain point, and then restart over again.
Now you just click a button on Serato. Keep it.
All that. We earned it though, but it's good. But you know the thing about I've lost it again. I had a wicked point.
Don't do that. Man had a gem for us.
I had a gem. An LL Cool J moment, yeah. I remember.
Look at key points.
It's gone.
Carrying
the vinyls, mixing 2 records together.
And the doubles.
The doubles.
Oh, yes. There we go. Nice one. So basically, the way I kind of do things these days as well, if I do cuts and scratches and all that stuff, I kind of challenge myself to make people think that it's actually a version of the song they're playing. So if they stop and turn around, I failed.
Right.
You just want it to be a seamless blend.
I want it to be as seamless as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing an a cappella blend, I want it to be this is just another version.
Yeah.
The real version comes in, but not that I'm sweating by just changing shit here and there.
Yeah.
It's a thing where you keep yourself on your toes. And you kind of enjoy what you do because I really love the actual art of this DJ thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I might not be the biggest name. It's never been about that for me. I don't chase that. I hardly post anything on Instagram or anywhere else. It's not about that.
Yeah, I thought you're pretty low key on the socials, isn't it, Shortee?
Yeah, I'm just I think I'm old school in that way of thinking of let the work speak for itself, but it's a new day and you can't really do that anymore. So I might have to hire somebody to do that for me. But no, I don't chase the like. I just love DJing. It's the practical art of DJing. It keeps my heart beating.
You can tell me just the way you talk about it, bro. Like you can see the passions in there. You'd be like you say 25 whatever plus years radio DJing, go back to the house parties. Like you've been around and done it.
And I see it in you too. I see it in Shortee B as well. Like when we used to do Twice as Nice in Ibiza for like 10 years. Like it was the only hip hop and R&B on that island. Like Shortee, like don't do. There's so many dope DJs these days as well, man. But like the EZs and there's a lot of younger dudes as well which are doing things and a lot of girls that are doing their thing as well. Shout out to K-pop. There's so many. Yeah, and it's I think it's in good hands as long as we keep doing our duty of keeping the standard up.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Because once we leave, once we're retired or once we don't want to do it no more, then it's gonna go to shit.
Yeah. We have this conversation all the time, don't we, Double? It's kind of on us to like guide these younger kids and the little things that we've covered and touched on, like
show them the way.
One of the reasons why we do this podcast, man, like the reasons why we talk to people like yourself and Scotty and everyone else that's been on to pass the knowledge and the gems and the little hiccups and the bits and bobs and just, yeah, man, just trying to keep the people plugged in, innit? This is our little pocket. So,
who was the person that made you want to DJ?
That's a really interesting one. I can answer that straight away, right? And I've got an amazing story.
Story time. Let's go.
This is where actually I'm glad you asked that question because it gives the perfect context to say this. Shortee Blitz.
Oh, come on, man. No, come on.
To be fair, he did say this. He did say this to me the other day. To be fair, he did say this.
I can give you the exact moment that I decided I wanted to be a hip hop DJ and learn to scratch. So there was a pure hip hop album.
Wow!
You had mixed, right? And one of the songs, it was
that's going back.
Nas and Genuine, You Owe Me.
Yeah.
Right. And in that compilation, you did some beat juggling. You did some scratching.
Right.
Now, that was the first time I'd ever heard a compilation where someone was DJing.
An actual DJ compilation. Real talk.
Yeah, like actually they.
Not the top 50, just
into the next one.
Right.
Obviously, it wasn't separate tracks. I mean, I've heard ones where it had mixed into the next track twice. It's nice did a few and stuff.
Yeah.
This one in particular, I'd never heard a DJ beat juggling on a compilation before. I don't think I'd ever heard a DJ beat juggle. So
right. Okay.
I couldn't scratch, and this is in the super early days for me. I remember hearing what you were doing with that track. So I actually went to the record store and bought a copy of that song and then brought it back to my decks to basically
do the same thing.
Figure out how I did it. How did
you do it? And then, so I was trying to work out how to get the same sounds out of that particular song. So I'm really happy that you asked that question.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's crazy. I didn't know that, man.
My first scratch routine was your scratch routine, basically.
But
and then I just kind of built on it from there.
And that's what we did as well. That's what for me. That's what I did from watching Cash Money and Jazzy Jeff. Those are the two reasons why I DJ. Do you know what I mean? And as club DJs, Q Capri was one of those guys as well. And then obviously Swing. Psycho, all them. So I kind of mixed kind of styles, innit? Because I wasn't straight turntablist. I was party rocking, but I was doing certain other things as well. And it's important to have that reference point of where you started from and who inspired you to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's really weird that you said that. I didn't know that, and I didn't ask you for you to save me. So,
they set this up off air. For anyone listening, this was set up pre-podcast.
Ask me this.
Guys hit him up on the WhatsApp, you know.
Listen, Double Ray, I'm going to ask you as your favourite, right? Make sure you say me, dog.
No, it's great because it is. I haven't not in as much detail, but I've actually mentioned that on the podcast previously about.
He has. I can vouch for that.
Your scratch routine, basically. So,
okay.
My entire career is built on stolen lies. I've just stolen everything, and the foundation is just crumbled of lies and stolen talent.
Before you answer, Styler, right?
Go on.
So that pure hip hop album, I went to war with the record company because they picked the track list. I wanted to add stuff to it.
Okay.
And they didn't. They weren't really on it. They wanted to put Jennifer Lopez on a pure hip hop album. I was like, that's not hip hop, bro. I went to
that's not hip hop, bro.
I had this back and forth. I almost lost the compilation, and I was willing to lose the compilation because I didn't want to be out there on a pure hip hop CD.
You got to front that shit.
I got to front it because they're not thinking about Telstar, who was the label that didn't know anything about the hip hop thing.
Mad.
You know what I mean? I'm very serious about
They wanted to throw J-Lo in there, like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
So we came to a compromise, and it got done. Still wasn't happy with it because there was loads of stuff on there. I don't even have a copy of that. So after that, then I did the Smooth compilation, which was dope, and then I had free license to do whatever I wanted. Or the only thing the problem was clearances of songs.
Right.
But I mixed that in the studio live, and it was cool.
So you must have won that battle definitely though. So because if I remember rightly, there was a Thai song on there as well on the compilation as well, right?
I have no idea, but yeah, I had to rep for the people.
I think there was because
Standard.
from my recollection, it was the first time I'd ever heard of Thai.
Oh wow, okay.
This is the times when I'm just really kind of just getting into hip hop like this.
Yeah.
All of my influences are US hip hop.
Yeah.
But UK hip hop wasn't really popular like that. Roots Maneuver maybe. I don't think Kalashnikov was even properly a name.
No, he wasn't out back then. Skinny was underground then.
Yeah. So I mean, growing up in East Sussex in the countryside, had no exposure to pirate radio or anything like this. So I specifically remember when I heard Ty's song on there.
Wow.
It was in an English accent.
Yeah.
In amongst all this US stuff. So I'm like,
yeah, that's cold. That's cold.
Yeah. That's cold. I don't want to go. It might take me 15 minutes to find it, but there's a box full of.
I was gonna say, I swear I got that CD. I'm sure I got that CD.
I know I have it. It's
Trust
in
me.
the box on the left, but it's gonna take me ages to look.
Because hearing that show DJing on a mix compilation back then, that was like a thing, man.
It was a weird thing as well, and
Trust me.
You know, I had to explain to them what I was actually doing. But yeah,
this is a scratch.
I don't even know if it sold though, for real. I don't know how many it sold. Don't know. The only one that I do know that sold was the Twice as Nice one. It went gold, and I was very happy with that. And then we did the other one with Scotty and Matt Jam Lamont after that.
Matt Jam Lamont, you know, wow.
Yeah, man.
That was a three.
Legend.
That was a three
CD,
album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was hip hop,
triple disc,
and garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think Scotty did the UK Funky, and then Matt Jam obviously did garage.
Yeah.
My story is completely different to all of yours. Cause like, just touching on the garage, like, garage was like the sound in my high school, and I'd always been into music. Like, I grew up on like Motown, R&B. My mum was into like old MTV bass and that. But like when MTV bass used to like run proper rhythm. Before they started playing all the Geordie Shore crap and whatever else they got going on. But then in school, like garage clicks was a thing. It was when the underground garage scene was popping, the Sidewinders, the Sun Cities were at the peak. Like EZ was like the guy. I'm talking. This is like 98, 2000 times.
Yeah.
So I just remember like listening to EZ all the time, like on the packs. I'd buy like the specific pack. I remember it was a Halloween tape pack. It was in a blue box. Had the 8 cassette tapes in it. So it'd all you'd have Jason K, EZ, Matt Jam Lamont, whatever it was. EZ used to be the one that I'd take all the time. I'd listen to it, and he'd be doing all the madness. You know what EZ's doing. He's all of. I'm thinking, bruv. All the kids are MCing on the playground in school anyway at the time. They're all rapping, like doing the little garage bars. They've got the little clips. And then a group of the lads that were in my year, they set up a crew called the Deja Vu Crew.
Yeah. Right.
I just got my turntables that Christmas after begging for like 4 years. So from like 11 to 14, 15, I was begging for turntables every year. Never got them. Mum and Dad obviously thought it was going to be a flash in the pan. 4 years later, managed to get them. Joined this crew. And like, it was easy. It was an easy thing for me. Like just his creativity and his little flex, like he would be chopping it, and the energy and like the way he used to drop the records and the element of surprise that he used to bring. I hadn't really heard that before, and like I kind of planned a lot of my DJing around what he was doing. So I'd not really copying him per se, because obviously I was just a kid back then. But like he heavily influenced me, and then as I progressed out of high school, obviously the garage thing semi just started dying off, really. It didn't just completely disappear, but the phase, like same what we had with Funky and that, like garage just kind of went the same way, and I gradually just progressed over towards like R&B and hip hop, which I listened to anyway, but it just wasn't the thing that I was doing. So I just started incorporating that style that I'd learned through garage into hip hop and R&B, really, and like it was all the early garage dons. I never really fully tapped in to the R&B hip hop world till like 16 onwards. I was in it, but I wasn't like checking all the DJs and like knowing like the ins and outs and the backbone of what's going on, because I was in the garage circuit. I remember hitting Sidewinder when I was like 17. Like,
wow.
Sneaking in. It was a Hackney Oceans in, was it Oceans in Hackney?
Oceans, wow.
Yeah, man. I remember risking going all the way down there on a coach when I wasn't even old enough, so I could see EZ.
Those are the times, man, and it's worth it because, like, you know, EZ for me, like, he's one of the illest DJs ever.
Yeah, he's sick, man.
Still to this day, and you know, if you speak to Shortee B, he's an expert. Like, he's the one who told me that EZ used to be a hip hop DJ back in the day.
Mad.
I mean,
I didn't even know that.
He used to be called Easy Otis or something like that.
Easy O, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I didn't know that. He told me this.
Wow.
And like he's sick. He's a guy who sees music differently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like slightly different to the hip hop DJs.
It's like he decodes the music in his brain, innit?
It's different elements.
It's like
of stuff.
he actually sees the music.
Like,
it's like a matrix.
He sees matrix coding in
it. Yeah. All of that. You know what I mean? So he's another unicorn because as well, man. If you ever DJed on a bill with him, right? So I think we used to do Southport Weekender with him, and you know, I'd drive down there and I'd stay there over the weekend. I'd DJ before him. He's still on the motorway. He'd drive, come play, bang out the club, get back in his car, bounce.
Gone.
Before the first song is over after him.
Oh,
he's
my.
Off. Like, he's like a machine.
Swift professional.
Don't get it. Like, he would drive for 3-4 hours, play, jump back in the car and drive that 3-4 hours back.
Yeah, he's an animal still.
And
the consistency as well, bro, over the years.
Yeah.
Getting hard, goes harder and harder.
I've never seen him do a dud set yet, and I've seen him years.
Yeah,
we were on Kiss together for 15 years, like, and before that we were in clubs together. Like, obviously, you know, when things were kind of separate, there'd be like hip hop R&B, and then there'd be the garage DJ afterwards because that'd be the high point. Of the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's mad. And saying about the garage stuff and all that, I remember when we used to do Twice Nights back in the day. I'm not throwing Steve under the bus, but back in the day when garage was the thing, we'd play in room 2, and then they'd be giving champagne and them and that to the dream team in room 1. They wouldn't even ask us if we wanted water.
Oh,
you know
my days.
But they're bringing them buckets of champagne and all that.
It's mad when you put it like that, because it'd probably be the other way now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, the garage man would be in the side room with the water and that. And then us.
No, but now we're all probably gonna be in the same room. I don't know why music had to be separate.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know, I think people really are starting to acknowledge hip hop, R&B, dancehall DJs because we can play multiple genres of shorter tunes for a longer time. If you're gonna play garage, people are gonna get bored at some point.
Yep.
But we can switch and change and play garage too if we wanted. You know what I mean?
Us open format dons, we got it.
We got it locked.
We got it, mate.
I feel like EZ does incredibly, and I don't know how he's managed to do this. But you know how we were talking earlier about doing all the techers and no one really understands. He seems to be able to pull off all these crazy tricks that normal people shouldn't understand what he's doing. But somehow the ravers go absolutely mental when he's just like
that is mad. That's true.
He'll have just a group of people all just watching him. And everyone knows what's coming as well, but he's still like...
Everyone knows the baby's about to drop.
And that's good, and it's weird, because if you and I were going to go do a turntable session in there, just, you know, have a little 5-minute break of us cutting up and doing mad shit, people are going to be like, all right, mate, you know what I mean? But when he's got the formula right.
Yeah.
And, you know, and as well, I saw the change of when people started to DJ how EZ DJs on the CDJs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it first started when I saw EZ do it, and then I saw Shortee do it, and then from then it was like people DJ in this kind of style now.
Yeah, true stories.
On CDJs. And, you know, I'm a turntable guy, but I can use CDJs now. I learned by using them in the club, but boy, it took me a while.
Yeah.
And I don't do all that though, but I treat it like I'm cutting up the turntable. So.
It's the speed of the way the timing of the way these man hit this cue. I don't miss one.
Yeah.
Like a metronome on fucking steroids. Jesus. Anyway, yo, guys, we're 2 hours in, you know.
Has it been 2 hours already, yeah?
No, it's 2 hours, man. That's we're nice.
Wicked.
We're nice. Do you know what I realised, Dubs? We didn't even do my proper intro at the start. We just started chatting nonsense.
We don't need that intro, man. It's all good.
We don't.
We've been massively slack with the intro. Yeah.
No, because we oh, no, wait. No, because we didn't do the intro because as soon as we came on, we just started talking.
Yeah, real talk.
And that's the best thing when it's a proper conversation. Yes. It's not really about.
It's because your setup was super smooth today, bro. It took Scotty 20 minutes last week.
Oh, did it?
All love.
Definitely big up Scotty.
Yo, Shortee, man, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, boys.
We could have chopped this up for a couple hours. I know you got the little ones and that.
You know what?
Double's got his missus shouting at him. I can tell. I can tell he's getting the eye.
I've locked the door. It's still good. But, you know what? I feel like this definitely has to happen again sometime soon, Shorty, because
whenever you're ready, man.
I know for a fact there's stories that we haven't unlocked yet.
Yeah, damn right.
There's absolutely no way you've done 25 years on radio without massive stories.
I feel like we've not even. Yeah, we didn't even really scrape the surface then. To be fair.
Nah, there's a lot that's happening.
We got to leave it open. We'll leave that one open for part 2, innit?
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, man. Just let me know. You guys are family to me, man. Like that's real talk.
Oh, like, I appreciate
that. You've always showed me love and respect every time I see you lot, and it's likewise. You know what I mean? And that's all I ask for at the end of the day. I'm not really on no other thing. It's love and respect.
Yeah, that's love, man. I appreciate that, bro. Especially with the whole lockdown and your own situation going over there. So even just coming on and chopping it up with us, like, respect.
Nah, it's all good, man. I mean, there's only a few people I would do that for. So yeah.
Love. That's love. But yo. Talk Over Podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube as well for the visuals. Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff.
At Talk Over Pod, Instagram and Twitter, and we've got another Q&A. I say this every week and then we don't do it. We've got another Q&A.
No, we have, we've got it. And I've got part three of the Scotty B one should be up. We split that up into a few parts. So yeah, the third part will be going up over the weekend, man.
So Shorty's going to go and get on Call of Duty. Your son's going to be mad now because you're going to kick him off Fortnite.
I know.
Well, listen, right? If anybody's on PS4, right? It's cross-platform.
He's calling out for smoke now, isn't it? Look,
no.
My
son's about it, you know. He's about this thing.
Real talk.
So add Blitz Boy, BLITZ BWOY
the guy's ready to send for the podcast community.
I let my younger do it.
Let him know. Sick.
What you let a 30-year-old boy beat you?
Yeah, probably. These kids have got different techers.
You got the thumbs.
This new generation, they've got more dexterity in their thumbs.
I'm telling you, bro. I'll be getting stiff thumbs after like half an hour. Rusty joints and that. My days. Anyway.
Much love, fellas.
All right, Shorty.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, my bro.
Anytime, man. Lots of love. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, man. You too, bro.